Good afternoon and welcome to Burlington, Iowa Inside Community Field. It's divisional Saturday matchup here at the Hive as the Clinton Kings in town to take on your Burlington Bees. Hi, I'm Liam Sample, joined alongside Sam Egan. A big divisional matchup for the Burlington Bees, who won another one of those crucial divisional matchups last night against Illinois Valley to move to 4-9 on the season. So Sam, a huge win for the Burlington Bees did on the back of some really good pitching. Take me through last night's game.
Yeah, last night was a pitching masterclass. Bobby Howell with the best start of the season by far for any Bees. Took it into the 7th inning where he gave it to Jack Duncan where he slammed the door.
A big pitching matchup indeed. The Bees scored 4 runs in the first inning. Were able to cruise on the back of that 2 pitching effort. So not only did the Bees only use 2 pitchers, which they've barely done this season, they also did not walk a single batter last night. So absolute pitching masterclass, like you said. The Clinton Kings entering this game with a 8-5 overall record, being 4-3 on the road this season. They actually lost last night to the Lafayette Aviators in a 14-9 shootout. Sam, any resounding thoughts from that game?
Yes, a lot of walks. I was kind of tuning in back and forth to that game, and last time I checked, they were down 6-2, and they had only allowed 2 hits. So it wasn't the hits that were killing them. It was they just kept walking batters, and Lafayette was taking advantage of those chances and to split that series.
12 walks in total, one of the big narratives of tonight. So going into this game, you would think it would be Mount Mercy assistant coach and Owen Oreskovich versus Mount Mercy head coach and Jack Dom. Both those head coaches actually are not here today, are out for today's game. So for Clinton, it's another Mount Mercy assistant who steps in, and Terry McGinn, typically the position and first base coach. And for the Bees, it's, I'm not joking, another Mount Mercy assistant steps in, and Casey Soley, who will set in today as the acting head coach. So 2 different types of coaches. And also today's game, a Day for Dad's Father's Day celebration at Community Field. So celebrating Father's Day 1 day early, had some fun catch on the field before the game, and then the fathers being honored throughout today's game with a first pitch there from one of the GMs in Tad Lowry, who obviously is a father to 2 kids. Speaking of fathers, one of the most significant in at least the Burlington baseball community is Anibal Figueroa. Played for the Bees between 2002 and 2004, and he's significant because his son is actually batting leadoff tonight, and Jace Figueroa just joined the team after finishing up his season at SCC and has been hugely impactful for the first 3 games. So with Anibal being such a legend in the Burlington community, obviously settling down and have kids that are now affecting the Burlington baseball community, actually sat down with him earlier today, had a conversation about his son, about the team, about what it's like growing up kids and raising people in Burlington. The broadcast, thanks for coming on, and happy Father's Day. So from being a player on the Bees, what is it like to have your son be on the Bees?
So I will say this way, for being a player to now see my son playing in the same field I used to play, I will say 2002, 2004, it feels really good. It feels really good. It brings me a lot of memory when I used to play, here for Kansas City Royal Organization. It being, I would say, fun. I enjoy every moment, when I watch him in the field, even when he's not playing in the dugout.
Awesome. So when you played here, what did you enjoy about that Burlington area to kind of make the decision to end up spending your life here?
Oh, I will say I really enjoy, I say by that time, the thing, it was a lot. The community, there was, a lot of people coming to the game, supporters. Our Kansas, I would say, the Burlington Bees, by then, like I said, it was Kansas City Royal Organization. Some of my teammates, I would say, who played here before and, show me around all these, I would say I meet some old friends who were already here from the Dominican Republic. They used to play here before us. And getting together with them and meeting all these people here, and I would say it made me feel comfortable. And later 2004, I would say I finally meet my wife, and I would say that made me feel like it was the right time, to stay here and get a family together. I would say it that way.
Awesome. So you kind of touched on it earlier, but does seeing Jace play here make you think about when you were a player?
It do. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. At first, when I first I stayed here, it was a little hard for me, thinking about, I used to be there, now, he's there. But watching him, I will say it this way, having fun. Like I say again, he enjoyed the game, and he playing the game the way I told him he need to play the game. It's no matter where you're playing, you got to play the game hard. And watching him, like I say, play the game the way he played the game has made me like really proud of him.
So to be able to raise your family in Burlington, what is this community? What is this field? What does that all kind of mean to you?
It mean a lot. It mean a lot because now I don't know if Jay say anything to you about it. But I've been doing like my own like baseball clinic around here. I decided to start doing a little bit of baseball, uh, listen to kids, trying to teach the kids how to play the game the right way. And I like it in here because the same thing is, the, it's a little town for Jace and my son Aiden and my daughter Kaylee. I would say, little town to me is better to get a family together than go out to the like big city and everything. I would say everything here is so close. They can walk home from walk to the school from the house and back and forth. Everything, like I say, it's a small town, and I like it. I like it. First, like I say, I thought, well, a little bit, oh my God, why you do it this way? But later, watching them growing up, I say, I picked the right town to stay here.
So I understand that there are former Bees players who have also settled here. Do you still find yourself hanging out with some of your former teammates?
Oh yeah. I got two of them. I used to play with them, Tomas Zurita and Luis Gonzalez. We all me in 1999 back in the Dominican Republic, and now Tomas, me, and Luis, we stay here. We got family. We are kind of our own way because after you have family, you a little busy. But yeah, we still hang out together and get together. Like it's a family. Like that's the way I see them. Those are my real family.
And then from seeing your son, grow up, play high school baseball in Burlington, go to SEC, and now play for the Bees, how fun is it for you to kind of see him make the whole trek through the Burlington baseball?
It's been, I say, it's been really, really cool. It's been really cool. What I say, playing high school in West Burlington here, go like I say to ACC. I'm really happy. Shorty pick him to be part of the ACC program because I believe Shorty he is one of the harder coaches. I will say, I never see the way he coached the game. I love it, and him now making the decision to play for the Bees when he said that I want to play for the Bees. I say, if you want to do it, let's do it. I was a little bit scared, but no, I really enjoying. Like I say, since he graduated from West Burlington, go to ACC, and now playing for the Bees, I enjoy it. He made me, like I told him now, I say, I'm right now I look like a celebrity. It's a lot of people asking me questions, not even want you to play baseball. But yeah, I'm telling you, I enjoy every moment so far.
So when you watch Jace, what lessons do you feel as a father he displays when he plays?
I will say he's a hard worker. I will say it this way, some people, the people that know me want you to play baseball, and they see Jay now. I will say the truth. I never worked that hard. That kid, he never stopped. He's wanna going and going, keep going. I say, that is something when I used to play baseball, and that is I love about you. You never want to stop. Like I say, he's a kid. It's unbelievable to watch him, growing up that way, and like I say, he never want to stop. It's crazy.
So when you were a player, who was faster, you when you were a player or Jace right now?
Oh, that you cannot be asking that question because I was really slow. Jace, like I say, I don't know where he got that from, but yeah, I was. Some of the people, like I say, I used to catch and play first base. Jay, like I say, it's unbelievable. I don't know, like I say again, where he got it from, but he is the one fast.
So to follow up on that, where do you think Jace got his style of play from, since it's so different from yours?
Like I say, I don't know. I'm telling you the truth. He don't got it from me. But I'm glad he don't got it from me because it's like I say, we are different. We are different in a lot of aspects in the game. I don't. Like I say, the way he played the game, I never did it that way. I was kind of more like a relaxed player, and like I told him, I don't want you to be like me. you need to be better than me. As a father, you know, you want to see your boy, you know, your kid being, they want to be better than you. So that's something like I say, I love about him. He's always pushing himself, you know, to be better than the yesterday and the day before. That's the way I see it.
Awesome answer there. Final question for you. What are your plans for Father's Day?
I would say come to the beach game, enjoy the game. I don't have any other plan. I say that's what we've been doing it for so long, you know, and I love it. I say there's no better present than come here and enjoy you know the game and watch your son playing the game, the game he loved to play. I would say because he loved baseball.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on today. It was great to have you today.
Through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, John.
So thank you, John, to a great rendition of the national anthem, and thank you to Annabelle, otherwise known as Figgy, for sitting down with me earlier. Really, really inspiring conversation. Obviously, sitting down with any dad, there's quite a bit of wisdom to pick up, but sitting down with one who played for the Beast, has deep dives with the community, was really, really inspiring to hear his passion for his son as Jays and his passion for the game of baseball. That'll take us today to today's starting lineups. We'll first be visiting Clinton Lumber Kings, and this Lumber Kings team, 8-5 on the year in one of the tougher divisions in the Prospect League so far this season. They lead off today with their center fielder in Will Stark. Stark so far this season appeared in 14 games at Wichita State University. His 10th game with the Lumber Kings has a 176 batting average on the year. Behind him and the DH today is Blake Timmons, a North Dakota State attendee, did not play. There is a freshman so far this season in 6 games with a 500 slugging with a 474 on base. A really good hitter, and he's followed by another dangerous one in RJ Rouet. The Baylor University Bear played in 11 games so far this season with a 333 on base or slugging percentage with a 435 on base. Next to the cleanup hitter today, number 39, Noah Thien, a Des Moines Area Community College attendee, hitting 500 so far. Only he's played in 1 game and has 1 hit and 2 at-bats, so small sample size for him as he looks to get it going out of the cleanup hole. Next to number 28 and the 5 hitter today, and Carson Grout, University of Iowa attendee with a 278 batting average with 7 games so far for the Lumber Kings. Next is the shortstop today, and number 24, Cougar Cook. Great name for him, and a Utah Valley attendee. He's played in 6 games so far with a 688 slugging and a 482 on base percentage. The second baseman today, number 3, Jesse Contreras, follows him. 40 games played for him at Heartland Community College. He played in 2 games so far with a 400 on base, 2 runs and 2 walks that would open up the year for him. Next to the 8 is Clay Jacobs, a Ball State University attendee. And then counting out the lineup is James Hackett, who will finish this early lineup up for the Clinton Lumber Kings. So the Lumber Kings looking to bounce back. The Bees looking to stay hot. Here, Sam, I'll turn it over to you to our first inning action.
Welcome here to Burlington, Iowa. Sammy again alongside Liam Sample for a beautiful day here once again at Community Field. Leading it off, as you mentioned, will be Will Stark, the center fielder for the Lumber Kings. And the pitcher for the Burlington Bees is Vinny Morrow, and he fires in a first pitch strike. An interesting note on Morrow, in his college season at Des Moines Area Community College, had a 10.27 ERA at home, but only a 3.07 ERA on the road. So statistically a much better pitcher on the road in his collegiate season, so we'll see if those numbers continue to pan out. He's quickly in a 1-2 advantage count here on the leadoff guy, and Stark fires in a fastball low, cannot get the call, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, I like that mention from here. I mean, technically he's throwing away from home. He's not in Des Moines anymore. He's currently in Burlington, Iowa, so maybe that change of scenery for him will allow him to continue his great numbers on the road he had this season. Obviously, he's only came out of the year or out of the bullpen this season so far for the Bees, but good to see him converted to a starter. We saw it work yesterday for the Burlington coaching staff and Bobby Hell, and Morrow getting a similar treatment here today, Sam.
See if Morrow can have an extended outing. Was perfect in his only previous outing as he walks the first batter. So only went one inning of work in that ball game in his
Batting
lone
second
appearance.
for the Lumber Kings, designated
However,
hitter
here in
number
his
4,
first
Blake
batter,
Jimenez.
already walks the leadoff guy. Something the Bees did not do all day yesterday was walk a batter.
Yeah, no walks like you said yesterday, so a bit of a change of scenery for them. Obviously, Helt is a very, very good strike thrower and doesn't really throw a ton of balls, so that worked to the Bees' advantage yesterday, not drawing the extra man. I think Morrow's a little bit of a different style of pitcher, and the Bees may have to deal with the walk so far as he gets a good swing and miss there.
Got a fastball, curveball, changeup mix. Went with that inside changeup right there. Got that swing and miss for strike number 1, but a dangerous hitter in Blake Timmons hitting .375 on the year with a .500 slugging percentage.
And this Clinton team, they've had a very much changing roster so far. We talked about this earlier today, actually, when we were back home talking about the changing of this roster. So for them being able to kind of change different options in their lineup, it's good to have a hitter like Timmons, in my opinion, a guy who's been consistently hitting the ball well in the 2-hole, kind of try to drive this lineup here after Stark does his job with the early walk.
Morrow's looked at that runner at first base and Stark a couple times, but almost let one get away as the runner thought about going, but puts on the brakes as it's a called strike and quickly 0-2 for Morrow.
And what impresses me about Morrow is the size, Sam. He's another big pitcher, 6'3", 215 pounds, and this guy's got a lot of velocity, and he's willing to attack the zone here, which he's done in this good at-bat.
Low pitch there, and it's 1-2, but I believe it was a balk called before anything, so Stark will take second. So the threat of him stealing a bag got into Morrow's head and easily allowed him second base on the balk.
Yeah, it's Brian Ingram on the bases today, and he was quick to expedite that call as Morrow was getting ready to enter the throwing motion. He put his head down, which makes him think he may have known he had made a mistake.
So now an 0-2 count once again for Morrow. Goes outside, and it's 1-2. So Stark's 6 for 8 in stolen base attempts on the year, and although it won't go down as a stolen base, it pretty much goes as a stolen base for Stark. Now standing at scoring position, nobody out. The Bees let the leadoff guy score in last night's ball game and did not allow a run since.
Yeah, yesterday's game was just such a change of pace of what we've seen, not only for the Bees, but just in the Prospect League this year. 6 runs scored in the first, or 5 runs scored in the first inning. Only one Illinois Valley run scored outside of that came in the bottom, or the top of the 7th inning, excuse me. It was just a really strange, almost felt like a softball game for parts of it, Sam.
Now 2-2 count. Morrow gets a grounder for Timmons, but rolls just foul and out of the reach of Matthews.
And he's drawing swings and misses here and balls inside the infield. This Bees defense was perfect yesterday with no errors. So we'll see if they can almost keep their good defensive ways today with a bit of a changing lineup.
I was about to mention that different look. Boston Halloran, who saw a lot of reps at shortstop yesterday, is not in the ballgame here today's game. It'll be Carson Bittner at the shortstop position instead. Another 2-2 for Morrow. Outside pitch, and he gets him looking.
That's so big for Morrow with the bounce back, not only to give up the opening walk, but the balk, too, to get that big strikeout to start off his day.
For Clinton, shortstop
Not a
number
rooster,
24,
was a
Cougar
balk,
Cook.
but nonetheless does not result in anything too catastrophic for the Bees as of yet, as they get the probably most dangerous hitter in the Lumber Kings lineup, and Timmons out looking, which is extremely rare for him. That brings up another lefty in Cougar Cook, which, as you mentioned, probably one of the best names we've seen so far in the Prospect League, other than maybe Scotty Savage. Cook takes a first pitch strike, so Morrow's been doing a good job of painting corners early on and getting strikes. So after the leadoff walk, he seems to bounce back and has no issue with the zone. Morrow looking at the runner, holding, deals, low pitch, kept in front of Moore. It's 1-1.
Bit of a rotating door at catcher defensively this season. That's where the Bees have had some of their most defensive struggles. Today they go to the Iowa Hawkeye and Reese Moore behind the plate. Just his second game at Community Fields here behind the dish.
He's got a great bat as well, but we'll see how he does behind the dish. Had some struggles at Iowa, only threw out 5 runners in 25 attempts. As the ball gets away from Moore, he can't find it. Runner rounds third, but will not decide to head for the plate.
Yeah, so it went off of, looking at the toe of the right cleat of Moore there and just kind of took a strange bounce behind him. He didn't know where it was. And that puts a runner just 90 feet away here for this Clinton team, which has scored runs really well this season. 4th in the league in total runs scored.
So there's a walk, a balk, and a pass ball that gets him onto third base. without really any sort of ball in play for the Lumber Kings.
Yeah, walk, pass, ball, and balk is it's quite a 3 things to get in one trip around the bases for him.
Pitch from Morrow. It's fouled off, so we'll do a payoff pitch. So Morrow in 32 innings pitched had 5 of those appearances be starts. Had a complete game in one of those starts, so he has the ability to go a long ways. We'll see if he can do it tonight. Had 30 walks in his collegiate season with 26 strikeouts. So walks tended to be an issue for Morrow, as we'll have to do the payoff pitch one more time.
I think that's where we're going to see a lot of Morrow's biggest pitches come are on these payoffs, Sam, because he draws a lot of contact. So in the 3-2 situations, we've seen both him and Timmons get a lot of swings on the ball.
And with only the corners in, a ball up the middle will score the go-ahead run early on. As that ball's lined up the middle, and they get right past the second baseman, and Akers scoring a run. So a ball right up the middle, as I said, will score a run. Not only does it score a run, but produces a base runner and Cook, and it's 1-0 Lumber Kings.
Yeah, so it's Akers on the right side at second base, and he was just beat with that ball, lost the hat too, and makes for an unfortunate sequence for the Bees, who for the second game straight trail early.
They allowed that first guy to score in last night's ballgame, only allowed 1 run since, so not allow a run in that first inning after that. So we'll see if Morrow can follow suit in his starter and help and give his skipper some longevity like last night. Fires in a first pitch strike there. Bobby Hull only had 12 pitches in the first inning last night. Morrow already at 18.
And I think with the fact that we've recognized that Morrow does a good job drawing contact, the double play is definitely in play for the Burlington Bees. Forced 2 double plays last night, which was huge in a bounce-back game for their defense.
242 hitter in the cleanup guy in Rouet. Takes the pitch there, and it's 1-2. Rouet, a true 3 outcome guy. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks. Has the ability for some big-time power. Takes the pitch just off the outside, and it's 2-2.
Morrow's really gone up, done a good job getting up early in counts, but has now given it away again. He's done that multiple times today here early. Really need to lock in that put-away pitch without losing too many pitches, Sam.
435 on base percentage, 15 strikeouts and 10 walks on the year for him. Checks his swing. Did he go? He did not, so it'll be another payoff pitch for Morrow and back-to-back at-bats.
So it's Matthews and Akers on the right side, first and second. Agnew at third, Bittner at short, Braga in left, Figueroa in center, and then Donlin in right field to make up the Burlington Bees defense today.
With 9 RBIs on the year. Runner on first could potentially be the 10th, but no bother as he walks once again. So second walk of this inning for the Bees.
And with a new head coach in there, or an acting head coach, and Casey Soul, it's going to put Coach Casey in an interesting spot here, whether he wants to make changes if Morrow continues to struggle.
So now stepping up to the dish is Clay Jacobs. So last week you had a familiar Cardinal in Coach Sam with Jackson, and now I get to meet one of my familiar Cardinals in Clay Jacobs. Had a lot of time with the Cardinals this season. He's playing about every other day here with the Lumber Kings. Takes the first pitch, called for a ball. That Ball State team for Jacobs ended up going to the MAC championship where he saw action throughout that tournament. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, they ended up losing to Western Michigan in the MAC championship. 1-0 to Jacobs, and he takes another high pitch, 2-0.
What impresses me about Jacobs here is the only senior starting today among either side. So a lot of experience for Jacob, like you said, a couple different college changes for him. And now another one of the coaches here for the Burlington Bees, and Tyler Richards will make his way out and try to talk it over with Morrow.
And I'm seeing Joe Evans starting to jog out to the bullpen, so wondering if he's going to get loose and Morrow's maybe an opener for Evans, maybe?
We'll wait to see what the decision is there, if they're going to try to warm up Evans here. Evans did throw 2.1 innings just 3 days ago, last Wednesday, against the Clinton Lumber Kings, ironically enough. They did have a doubleheader and have had games every day since then, so these pitchers have to be ready to go, in my opinion, Sam. And Evans might be getting the call here. He's entering some stretching in the bullpen.
Big-time lefty bat in Jacobs, but maybe more importantly, he has a better eye for the plate. He had 30 hits this year with the Cardinals, but 25 walks. 3 of those 30 hits were home runs, so he definitely has some home run pop. And I was actually talking with Jacobs before the game during batting practice just about the state of our Ball State Cardinals for next year's baseball season, as he will be returning for his 5th year, and just about a lot of things about the Cardinals. But what he told me he's looking forward to most next year is the is the potential chance to get head coach Rich Maloney his 1,000th win in his collegiate career. Currently standing at 985, so 15 wins for the Cardinals seems more than doable for that program. We'll see if Jacobs can be a part of that huge feat next year. Already in a 2-0 advantage count here. The lefty takes the pitch, called for a strike. Great pitch from Morrow to make it 2-1.
Not sure what the pitching coach and Tyler Richards said to Morrow there, but whatever it was, a really good call. Nice bounce back pitch from Morrow now to get out of this at bat.
Jacobs was sitting fastball and got the off-speed pitch there. His pickoff move for Morrow may have fooled the runner in Rue a little bit, but able to slide back in there just in time.
Yeah, Sam, that was way closer than it could have been for Rue. I'm not sure, like you said, if he just fooled the runner. He had too big of a lead, but Matthews nearly had him out there.
And Jacobs is hitting .462 in this season with the Lumber Kings. So despite the fact he's from Ohio and a little bit far from home, that does not seem to bother him at all. And the 8-hour drive here seemed to be worth it. A 3-1 count here for a guy who's among the leaders in Ball State's walks. 3-1 offering. Outside, and he takes call for a strike. So little backdoor curveball there from Morrow on an interesting 3-1 approach. And interested to see what he'll do here on 3-2.
Like you said, had a ton of experience this year at Des Moines Area Community College. A second season there, 21 collegiate games pitched over his collegiate career.
Third full count of the inning for Morrow, and he walks his third batter on a full count.
This put-away pitch has really been what Morrow struggled with. I think outside of that, he's thrown a lot of really good pitches for swings and misses, a lot of good strikes, but struggling in these 3-2 accounts here, and a hat trick of walks for him.
Now, Clinton has been able to just see the pitches they like and foul off anything that's been close. Now with the bases loaded here and 1 out, double play can get you out of this inning, but base hit could be a big run for a guy who struggled on his home mound. It's a first pitch strike on the check swing. That's Carson Grout, the third baseman, at the dish for the Lumber Kings. So another left-handed bat. A lot of lefties here for this Clinton Lumber King team. They have 20 hitters on their active roster, so good balance of lefties and righties to counter whatever arm is on the mound.
And now up 0-2 here. These are situations where Morrow has struggled with, in my opinion, and trying to win these counts. I think he needs to learn his lesson from the last time with all these walks and try not to waste pitches here and try to get aggressive up 0-2.
See if he throws a competitive pitch here on 0-2, just a bit high, and it's 1-2.
See, like Sam, I'm not even sure if I really like the decision there, knowing that he's having trouble finding the 3-2 pitch to go up and away there. I would rather see something a little more competitive to maybe draw the swing and a miss.
See if he goes off speed here or feels comfortable with that fastball. Goes fastball that spikes in the dirt. It'll be 2-2. So you've mentioned, and it's right to your point, that he's not really throwing too many competitive pitches when he's gotten those advantage counts. And this ball game, at least so far, it's cost him, and it might cost him again because now the count's even at 2-2.
And Clinton, they gave up 12 walks yesterday en route to loss. You mentioned that was one of the most important factors in their loss yesterday. They're almost on the other side of that here early.
That ball's grounded up the middle. Base hit. 1 run is in. Rue rounding third, heading for the plate, and he will score. So a 2 RBI single for Grout, and the line just keeps moving for the Lumber Kings.
A huge rally for Clinton yet today. Their bats yesterday still showed up in that big-time high-scoring loss, and they just pick up right where they left off here with a huge 3-run first inning on a guy who hasn't given up a run in his 1 inning of work this season.
3 runs have scored. 2 of them have come off the walks, so we've mentioned so many times before that walks have been the killer, and a Bees team that didn't walk any guys last night has already walked 3 in this ball game, and 3 runs have scored because of it.
Sometimes it's funny how baseball works. I guess welcome to head coaching for Casey Soul.
First pitch strike for Morrow once again, but his issue has not been early in counts. It's been after that. So we'll see if these Clinton Lumber Kings hitters are a little more aggressive early on counts, seeing that he's throwing strikes, or they're just waiting on their pitch like they have been all day. Their pitch fouled off, and it's 0-2 once again, but we've seen this go from 0-2 to 3-2 in a heartbeat.
Grout has played in 7 games, now 8, and has 6 RBIs, so he's having a good job, almost an RBI per game for the University of Iowa Hawkeye.
Hackett is 0 for 17 to start his Clinton career, so he's yet to pick up a hit, so see if he can do it against a struggling arm. Takes a pitch there on the outside, and Morrow cannot get the call. Long first inning here. We saw last Saturday, it went 4.5 hours, and this first half of the inning has already gone 15 minutes, and Morrow's thrown 35 pitches. 1-2 for Morrow. Another foul ball.
I think it's Terrio and Evans that are already up here for the Bees, and they still need 2 more outs here potentially from Morrow.
See if he can get a big out here. Advantage count 1-2. Hackett yet to pick up his first hit. Takes the pitch there, and it's 2-2. Hackett has 3 walks on the year, so he has a .333 on base, but like I mentioned, still seeking to pick up that first base hit. 1-2. Once again, Morrow that time gets him looking, so his second out of the inning is just like his first, the punchy looking, and we'll see if he can get the third one in the same fashion.
This is so weird, for lack of a better way to say it. It's either a walk or a strikeout here for Morrow. He's only given up 2 hits here in this 3-run rally. That's just sometimes baseball's a weird sport, and this is another example of that, Sam.
And something I've noticed because of the extended long first inning, Brendan Martin, the starting pitcher for the Clinton Lumber Kings, just still finishing up his warm-ups. He's just now walking in from the bullpen now with 2 away, so he had to go back out there, get a little more loose because of how long this first inning's gone for him.
Yeah, good for him. Be able to maybe, it's fun now to see if that helps him or makes his day worse, having to throw some extra pitches in his warm-up session. Looks to be fine as he just makes his way over and then out.
With Thine, the catcher, in the 8-hole for the Lumber Kings today. Another lefty in the lineup for this Lumber Kings team. So the barrage of left-handed hitters do not stop, and the Bees at least have had no answer for it so far. We'll see if they have a counter to that with Joe Evans warming up in the bullpen, and we'll see how much longer Morrow can go with already throwing 41 pitches in this first inning. It's a fly ball to Figueroa in center field, racing on it and making the catch right before the warning track for out number 3. So 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks from Morrow, and the Bees are coming to the dish trying to get back what they did last night.
Contest.
And welcome back to Burlington, Iowa. Going to read you off the lineup here for the Bees. Leading off will be Jason Figueroa. As you mentioned, you talked to his dad before the game and really saw the family atmosphere here in Burlington. No need to say he's a Burlington native. He's hitting .250 to start his season, a .520 on base, though, and he has wheels on wheels on wheels. Batting second, once again, will be Landon Akers, so it will be the same 5 for the Bees as last night. Landon Akers, who is hitting .267 on the year, 12 for 45, so leading the Bees in at-bats and has a .340 on-base percentage. Batting third will be Reese Moore, the catcher. The Iowa Hawkeye has a .541 on base and leads the team in average with .346. Batting fourth will be Merrick Matthews, the cleanup man, also another Iowa Hawkeye. He's hitting 7 for 33 on the year, so only a .212 average, but he's got the most pop on this team by far. Leads the team in home runs with 2, also has 9 RBIs and a .395 on base. Batting fifth will be the left-handed bat and Cooper Donlin. He has hit 300 at every level he's been at this season, and he's hitting .345 with the Bees in this young season. Batting sixth will be the designated hitter in Christian Dunn. So we've seen him have a big bat before. He has a .294 average, but also a .294 on base, has yet to pick up his first walk. Seventh will be Skylar Agnew, the Hawaii Pacific product, who had .286 with them this year. And eighth will be Luke Braga, the Tennessee Tech product, who has yet to pick up a good start for the Bees, has a .286 on-base percentage. And rounding it out in the 9-hole will be Carson Bittner. He's playing the shortstop here tonight, the freshman at Phoenix College. Hit .313 while in his time there, but he's still looking for his first B hit. And as I mentioned, the leadoff man will be none other than Jace Figueroa, the hometown kid. And we talked to his dad and a ball before the game, and just a really cool story about his story to come here to Burlington and wearing his dad's number, and just the pride his father has in watching him play despite how drastically different their playing styles are.
I can agree with you more, and especially with it being the Father's Day game here.
Ground ball to first base, has trouble with it, and the speed of Figueroa will beat him to the bag. interested to see if they rule it a hit or an error. I'm sure it'll probably be an error on the first baseman in RJ Rouet, and indeed it will.
So, Sam, it's just so hard to explain Figueroa's season so far this year. 231 batting average, but a 524 on base percentage for him. It feels like when he gets onto, he's destined to score with at 7 runs in his first 3 games, and then tacked on another one last night.
Scored as a leadoff guy in last night's ballgame. Looking for him to do the same here tonight. Also stole a base. That brings up Landon Akers. Went 1 for 4 last night with a single that did drive in Figueroa for the first run of the ballgame. The Bees ended up tacking 4 runs on that first inning, and if they could do that again here, that would be huge and would give him the lead. So there's only a 1-run deficit in last night's first inning. The Bees looking for a lot more here, but it does not all have to come at once. Landon Akers, the second baseman here in tonight's ballgame. Right-hander Martin holding, then dealing. Pitch on the outside and tight zone here from Brian Ingram, and it's called a ball. So a quick 2-0 count for Akers, and he's going to be searching for his pitch. Martin looking at Figueroa. Looks down twice and then throws, and it's not even close to the plate, and it's 3-0.
So today's starting pitcher, another NJCAA product, and Brendan Market, who attends Mid-Michigan College. 10 appearances there with 3 complete games. So a guy who's got a ton of length, only thrown for 0.1 innings with the Lumber Kings so far this year with 1 earned run.
Of course, if you allow a run in such a short time frame, it'll balloon your ERA. His ERA right now is at 27, but obviously with him getting the start today, he's going to have the opportunity to dwindle that quite a bit.
And not only that, blocked 3 guys and that 1 out. So his whip is already a 3-2, like you said, ballooned stats and heavily inflated too.
We'll see after the leadoff error if that rattles him to throw some more balls. A 3-1 count here as Akers lines one into right center field and will be caught by the right fielder in Hackett. So some good contact there from Akers. We saw that last night where he was able to get that to fall, but with the wind blowing out tonight, actually, he probably kept that ball in the air a little longer and resulted in the first out.
Jacobs, Stark, and Hackett make up the outfield from left to right. It's Crowd at third, Cook at short, Contreras at second, and Rouet at first, with Dean behind the plate to make up the Clinton defense.
Akers was an advantage count. Got a good pitch to hit. Unfortunately for him, just could not get a good break. So 1 out here and brings up Reese Moore, who has definitely been the best hitter for the Bees so far, hence why he is in that 3 spot.
Yeah, something Coach Onareskovich said to me yesterday, sorry to cut you off, Sam, was that Moore, he feels like the guy who's really secured that 3 spot and has played really, really well to almost earn that spot there early on this season. He's another Iowa product and been the best of the group of Hawkeyes who have joined the Bees this year.
Top of that 341 average, a 541 on base. Took a first pitch, called for a strike there. Another pitch, that one's high and inside, and called for a ball.
Yeah, so the 2-hitter isn't nearly as secure, but it's a good combo, in my opinion, between Figueroa and the leadoff spot and Moore in the 3. These guys joined the Bees later on in the season and have been the most impactful Bees since becoming part of the Burlington roster.
See if he can have a big impact here with the speedy guy on first. He takes off. Figueroa on the run, and he steals that base with ease.
So nice job there, Casey Soley, to make the call for Coach Soley there to send the stolen base. So he picks up the stolen base, and the new acting head coach for today, flexing some of his muscles early.
Now an RBI opportunity available here for Moore, and an advantage count and against advantage arm in Martin. Of course, right-hander with Moore batting from the left side. Moore reached base twice in last night's ballgame. None were by either way of the hitters. A walk and a hit by pitch is how he got on. 2-1. He skies this one into left field, but playable for Jacobs, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, Moore played 1 game in Clinton, and the doubleheader that the Bees played there was 0 for 2 with a run and 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. The Bees have played Clinton 4 times this year, 2 exhibition, 2 regular season games. That was that doubleheader we talked about last Wednesday. They've lost all 4 games.
Now brings up Merrick Matthews, another Iowa Hawkeye. He's hitting 212 on the year, and he's looking to boost up that average here and driving the run. Already has 9 RBIs here, so looking to join the double-digit RBI club with Donlin and Moore, and he can do that here with the runner on second base. Send it hold for Martin. He delivers to Matthews, who takes another low pitch called for a first pitch strike.
Yeah, Donlin, the big game yesterday on deck here. So if Matthews is able to reach, you bring up one of the better hitters on this Burlington Bees squad, and Cooper Donlin, who had an RBI last night.
Matthews also struck out twice. Both were looking, so he's looking to swing the bat here in this count. Takes the pitch there that was well out of the zone, and it's 1-1.
So we'll see Figueroa's going to get the single to go here. Try to get the extra base on his way to third.
Never want to make a third out of the inning at third base. I don't think they're going to send him. 1-1 for Matthews. Takes 2-1, especially with the speed of Figueroa. He's so fast. A base hit will essentially score him. So we'll see if Matthews can come up with that big-time base hit and cut into the Lumber Kings deficit. Bees fans starting to make some noise. So again, a B hitter is ahead in the count, 2-1, and a low pitch makes it 3-1.
Matthews' serious pop has one of the best hits of the Burlington Bees season with a walk-off home run last Sunday against Illinois Valley. See if he can display his his power here in the big advantage count.
Some time on the field as Figueroa needs to tie his shoe. So Martin's only had 11 pitches in this first inning, which has been pretty impressive. And despite the amount of pitches that he's thrown out of the zone, he's been able to still make these B hitters make contact, and just weak contact that results in outs. Now a 3-1 count once again. This one's out of the zone and ball four for Merrick Matthews. So Cooper Donlin, who already has a home run on the season and is the B leader in RBIs, all of a sudden is the tying run at the plate.
Yeah, Donlin, like you said, the RBI leader, the first to get to double digits with 10 last night. And this is a weird spot they put him in the 5-hole. He's often a second cleanup hitter, kind of picking up where the garbage is left off. And he comes into a situation, not necessarily garbage, just an opportunity to get some ribbies.
Big opportunity for an RBI in Donlin. Let's see what the Hawaii Pacific product can do. Big swing and a miss from Donlin there. Tipped it in the catcher's glove, but nonetheless, that would still be strike one. Donlin, who began his career at Oakland University, same school as Boston Howard, but really found his groove at Hawaii Pacific as he gets plunked once again. So we've seen this far too much for Cooper Donlin. Had a game where he got hit 3 times. He stands really far inside the plate, but that one probably got him in the best spot you could probably get hit, and now a big bat and Chris Dunn comes up to the plate.
I think it's because he crowds the plate, but this guy must have a target on his back or something along those lines. He just continually getting hit hard with the ball.
Now Christian Dunn at the plate. I talked to him yesterday about his walk-up song that he chose at Southwestern Tennessee Community College, and his first pitch, he lines just fouling at the new head coach in Casey Soley. But he told me that he typically picks like a rap song, maybe Young Dolph, but when he went to Tennessee, he found Morgan Wallen, he found country music, and just fell in love with it, and I think he's going to stick with it for the rest of his career. 0-1 count to Dunn, takes an off-speed pitch that's high, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Young Dolph to Morgan Wallen. That's quite a transition, Sam. I can tell you what, that's some hard stuff in Young Dolph. So good for Dunn for being able to explore a wide range of music here, and they're going to want him to put it in a diverse spot in the field with the bases loaded.
A diverse taste in music in Dunn. Takes the pitch there, a slider that just clipped the corner, and it's 1-2.
Brendan Martin, a big size guy, 6'6", 180 pounds, and to be able to slick sliders in there from a bigger guy, something I didn't necessarily expect. That's a really nice pitch from him to go up 1-2.
Dunn only has 1 RBI on the year, but is still hitting 293. 1-2 pitch to him, and he flies it in the air straight back. Will this get out of play? It won't, but the catcher can't get to it in time. So Noah Thien was on the run for that ball, but it just kind of dropped a little too quick for him. Did not get a good read on the ball right away, and as a result, Dunn gets another life, and we'll see what he can do with this extra chance.
Yeah, like you said, that might have been lucky there. It just hooked out of the reach of Thien there.
About to eclipse a 30-minute first inning, so it's been a good one so far. We could see if the Bees can tack on a couple in this first. Try and dig into this Lumber King deficit. 1-2 to Dunn. Takes a high off-speed pitch once again. That changeup missed, and it's 2-2.
That changeup out the hand looks like it's going to miss really high in the zone. I'm surprised how quickly it got in there to a near strike call. Luckily for Dunn, he doesn't get it, and now gets to sit in the 2-2 here, the big pitch coming up.
Dunn choked up on the bat, just trying to make any sort of contact and put it in play. 2-2 offering now. He definitely got a good swing on it, but just foul again. So he's lined a couple down that left field line where it just has gone foul, but he's hit the ball really hard. So you think he's seeing Martin really well, so might turn into something here with the outfield kind of shifted a little bit in for him.
Dunn played both games in that doubleheader against Clinton, had 3 hits and 6 at-bats with an RBI and a run, Sam.
2-2 offering to him, so he's very familiar with this Clinton team. Checks his swing. Did he go? What a late call from umpire Brian Ingram, but nonetheless, it is strike 3 there on Dunn. So that'll end the inning. The Bees strand 3 and the Lumber Kings lead 3-0.
Rachel is walking around the stands with the certificate.
And in his first game as the acting head coach, Casey Soley already displaying some coaching here. Maybe it was planned, whether it was or not. It's the Bees among the people who've pitched exclusively in relief. It's Joe Evans, the inning leader among that group of players coming into this game. What a season it has been for the Morton College Mustang. In Joe Evans posted so far 13.2 innings of work, about 11 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned runs with 9 strikeouts and a 2-1 overall record for Evans. So with the Bees having 4 wins, 2 of which have come on the hands of the Mustang here in Joe Evans. And the only way I could describe Joe Evans to the people who are watching, it reminds me of watching a softball pitcher, believe it or not. Doesn't really try to blow it by guys, just picks his spots and hits his spots very, very well. And they get to go against this Clinton team, one of the top relievers in the Prospect League early on this season, Sam.
And the biggest advantage for Evans, at least so far, this Lumber King lineup is stacked with left-handers, and Evans, being a left-hander himself, gets to face plenty of advantage batters, and we'll see how long he could go, because he's statistically been much better against lefties as opposed to the right-handed batters.
Evans was a starter at Morton College, did throw 2.1 innings against Clinton in that doubleheader, gave up 2 hits and 1 earned runs with 2 walks, and strangely enough, 2 strikeouts for him. That pitch ground up the right side will stay fair here, so Matthews will step on first. That was Jesse Contreras, the 9-hitter here, who grounds into the G3 for the first out of the second inning. Liam Sample here joined alongside Sam Egan. Go ahead, Sam.
If I could describe Joe Evans, like a Joe Evans type at bat, that would exactly be it. 2 pitches, gets a ground ball, and although he seems to be better out of the stretch as opposed to the windup, he'll take pitching out of the windup any day of the week.
Joe Evans, a very nice guy. We had him on the pregame show a couple of weeks ago, was talking about how is one thing he really looks to work on in summer ball is the walks for him. Did walk 2 in his 2.1 innings of work against Clinton, but this is a guy who likes to throw strikes and really is not a velocity guy. I can't emphasize that enough. So back to the top of the order here, Will Stark walked and then moved on the base on a pass ball and a balk, and a very interesting sequence on the base paths for him as he looks to get on base again, but quickly down 0-2 to the fast-moving Evans. This one swung on, will go up the left side, fielded cleanly by Bittner at short. Throw to Matthews will be not in time, so the base umpire today in Brian Ingram with already another controversial call here, and the Bees fans don't like it.
That was definitely an interesting call, but a perfect pitch sequence from Evans. Went with the nasty slider on the previous pitch and tried setting him up by going with the outside fastball, trying to get it off the end of his bat. And although he got the exact result he wanted, some unfortunate luck for him, it does technically go down as a hit, an infield hit nonetheless, and now brings up the most dangerous bat in this lineup in Blake Timmons.
So Timmons struck out looking his last time, now gets to face a new pitcher. Lefty on lefty here, as we're going to see a lot today of how, depending on how long Evans goes, because he fires in a first pitch strike. One thing I did ask Evans about is why he moves so fast, and his answer is pretty simple. He said, with the pitch clock here, it's just something I've always done, and with the pitch clock, feels motivation to do so. See that fast-moving delivery here as he fires in another pitch, called strike. Joe Evans does not want to walk anybody here, and he's picking up right where Bobby Helt left off yesterday with a start where he didn't walk a single batter.
Yeah, that slider is dealing today, and it's just nasty stuff, and at least so far, these Lumber Kings don't have any answer for it.
The check swing, called strike 3. It doesn't happen often for the Morton College Mustang, but when he gets a strikeout, it's extra satisfying here for Evans, who will continue to do out the stretch with the runner on first.
And you'll see him show the emotion as it looks like he has to lose his wristband as home plate umpire George Tidwell. Not a big fan of Evans' wristband, I guess, so has to rip it off, but a nasty slider for strike 3 there. Decided to double it up there because he got the fastball to ground out his previous at-bat, and Timmons for the second time in 2 innings strikes out looking.
Evans, an absolute workhorse through 2.1 innings of work just 3 days ago, Sam, and now quickly making his way through the Lumber Kings order. So the strikeout on Timmons his last time for the second time brings up Cougar Cook here with the RBI single his first time to get Clinton on the board. Runner will take off here, fielded at third. The turnaround play from Agnew will be in time. Skylar Agnew continues to display his defensive prowess. A nice play as the Bees give up no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Joe Evans comes in and does Joe Evans things here. It keeps it 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. No bullpen game for the Clinton Lumber Kings, looking for a bounce-back victory and up 3-0 and seeing the Bees bat for the second time today. Liam Sample joined alongside Sam Egan here. It's Brendan Martin, the big-time righty, still into this game, and he'll take on the lefty bat here in Skylar Agnew, who ended the top of the second on a beautiful play from third. Have you been impressed from Agnew's defense so far this season, Sam?
I've been extremely impressed, especially the last few games in this entire Burlington Bees defense after that fielding clinic the other day. It seems like it's worked wonders.
Fielding clinic, you said, not the other day, yesterday, as Coach O made the bats come in early and take ground balls for an extended infield clinic, like you said, and since then the Bees have not had a single error so far. 1 error in this game actually charged to the Lumber Kings. And that was an E3 in the first inning that allowed Figueroa to reach. Now the leadoff hitter in the second inning being Skylar Agnew. The Bees stranded 3 runners on base but did not pick up a hit, as a big swing and a miss from Agnew will make the count 1-1.
So Bees had 3 base runners last inning and left them all stranded. None of them came by the way of the hit.
Another swing and the miss for Agnew. So far a 250 slugging with a 259 on-base percentage for him. Had a 429 slugging this year at Hawaii Pacific. One of many Sharks to attend this roster and was actually to make up this roster as he swings and misses for the strikeout here. So Agnew going down on the K here. That's back-to-back Ks from Martin.
Impressive stuff here, and that brings up Luke Braga, who, although he does not have the greatest average, he just finds the ability to get on base. We'll see if he can do it again here.
12 at-bats this season, 3 hits and 3 runs with a walk and a strikeout. That's the first pitch he'll take outside the zone to make it 1-0. Braga, haven't seen too much sample size from him, a Cookeville, Tennessee native. It's set to does attend Tennessee Tech, where he did not play this season, and now Thien wants to talk it over here with Martin. Not sure if there's a miscommunication about the signals or whatnot, but taps his hand on the back of the big righty, and we'll talk this one over.
I love that decision from Thien. His pitcher, who had the issue with walks and control in the last inning, got through the first batter, and after that, he faced some adversity in the last inning, and he almost allowed some runs to score. So his catcher, Thien, trying to calm him down a little earlier and hopefully not force his pitcher to be in a situation where the bases are loaded.
A 2-0 count here on Braga. This one will be swung on, popped up in the infield, called at second base by Contreras, and able to make the catch there past his falling shortstop and Cook, who fell to his left for the second out of the inning.
Working quick here is Martin, so only a 24-pitch first inning, and now working just as fast. Only 5 pitches in this second inning, so after a 30-minute first inning, the second inning might only take about 7 minutes.
The Bees bats does not have a hit so far. Did have the 2 walks in the first inning, as it's Carson Bittner who comes up to the plate. Bittner did not play in either game of the doubleheader against Clinton. Gets the appearance in today for the Phoenix College attendee.
Still looking for his first Bee hit.
As the 0-1 fired on the outside of the zone to make it 1-1. This Bees team last in at-bats, hits, RBIs, and doubles this season. So their offense has seen some serious struggles here, and it was a brutal blow not to bring home any of those runs as Bittner pops this one up in foul territory on the right side. It'll be Rouet who calls and will make the play for the final out. So a bounce back 1-2-3 inning here for Brandon Martin. And it'll be Evans to come out here in the third after a quick moving second.
Tough crowd here at Community Field as our very own Rachel Fisher tries to get the crowd going with some dad jokes, and the kids competing in the competition to not spit out their drink and try not to laugh. They both didn't laugh, so I guess wasn't too funny, I guess, as Joe Evans' first pitch was also not too funny as that one got lined down the right field line and fouled, thankfully, and it's 0-1.
What's more perplexing for me is that I think it was the Clinton dugout that had the most fun with that. They were waving their hats and had some big smiles on their face.
Ball's flown to right field. Another foul ball down the right field line. It's quickly 0-2. But I love the emotion that Clinton Lumber King dugout was showing, trying to, almost instigate with the kids, trying to get one of them to laugh. But kudos to those kiddos for holding their ground. 0-2 count for Evans. Already has one strikeout in this ball game. I don't think he's really done all wrong all year for the Bees. Is when the Bees walked it off against Jackson, he was on bucket duty, meaning he had to pour the Gatorade bucket over this impending celebration. He just threw the bucket, and everyone had to get out of the way. But other than that, Joe's been spectacular this year, and a 1-2 count from him. Misses outside, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, one thing I love about this Bees team is they have a lot of fun on social media. You talked about Donlin's drone business on yesterday's broadcast, and Evans commented on social media. He said, I don't think I want to be on bucket duty again.
That ball's skied into right field, right center. Figueroa chasing it, and that baby is off the top of the wall and will go. R.J. Rouet, the little bit of luck off the right center field fence as Figueroa is down. And he makes the score 4-0.
Yeah, that was a crush ball on an 0-2 count. We know Evans' aggressive nature there and just hung an off-speed that was smoked to one of the deepest parts of the bark, Sam.
Figueroa seems to be okay walking on his own power. The trainer and now interim head coach Casey Sully on his way out to check on the young center fielder. Big swing of the bat by Rouet, and one of the deeper parts of the ballpark, and When I tell you he needed every stitch of that, he did, because it hit the top of the wall and went.
It's the first home run of the season for Rouet. Also his 10th ribby of the year. What's more impressive from him is he actually pitches so far, too. Went 2-0 at Baylor this season in 22 appearances, as they're going to check on the Burlington native and Figueroa in the center field. Continued delay here.
Figueroa seems to be okay, and everyone seems to walk back to their respective positions.
That's the first home run that Evans has allowed this season. That ball was absolutely hammered over the right center field wall, so we'll see how the young pitcher is able to bounce back here in a position that he hasn't been in too much this season, Sam.
That ball just barely left, but I mean, to hit it out to that part of the ballpark,
Got to be crushed.
gotta be crushed.
Especially off a wood bat, too, which all these guys don't play with a wood bat for the large part of the year. So to be able to do that here for Rouet for the first time this season, a very impressive feat, and now some movement here in the Bees bullpen.
I hit it a little bit against the wind, too. That may have helped him out, though, because it's blowing right to left. Usually we see the wind blowing left to right here, but tonight it's right to left, and ball just carried out to the right side.
Like you said, a very rare southeast wind blowing at 10 miles per hour, and likely did help that ball from Rouet. Temperature in the low 80s will drop down into the high 70s by the end of tonight's game, likely around 78.
It's weak contact on Jacobs, charging his acres and cannot make the play, so another infield single this time from Clay Jacobs.
Yeah, nice play, a piece of hitting there for Jacobs. Kind of split the gap between Evans and Akers, who was charging from second. Back-to-back hits here puts Evans in a really tough situation.
I don't think he meant to swing at that, just kind of put his bat on it, and ball just kept carrying. And fortunately for Jacobs, just got in the right spot, started hauling out of the box, and picks up an infield knock.
So the umpire called time there while looking at the first base line. Not entirely sure what the delay was there.
So now some action in the Burlington bullpen, as first time we've seen Joe Evans really struggle all season. That ball is grounded up the middle, another base hit. Jacobs rounding second, heading for third, testing the arm of Figueroa, but he will get there in time. Ducks on the pond now for the Lumber Kings with already one plated across in the inning and nobody out. It's just a chance for some serious damage.
Yeah, like you said, serious damage is right. Already 4-0, and now first and third with nobody out. This is really going to test Evans here as a pitcher in a position that he just has not been in this season.
Infield not in for the Bees, so if they get a ground ball up the middle, they'll take 2 for 1 with a double play, surrendering the run. First pitch from Evans, a high fastball called for strike.
Yeah, nice check swing there from Evans. A bold call to go high fastball here after giving up 2 hits. I don't hate it, and obviously draws the swing.
See if he's aggressive at the top of the zone again after getting Hackett swing one time already. Goes outside. No runners advance, and it's 1-1.
Already a pass ball on Reese Moore today, so he's got to be careful as he missed that pitch on the outside, kept it in front of him to avoid some of the damage.
1-1 count for Evans. Lefty batter and Hackett, but the left-handed bats for Clinton have been hitting Evans well so far in this ball game. As Evans fires in a slider, called for strike 2.
What's really impresses me about this Clinton team is something we talked about actually Illinois Valley last night was their depth. Clinton, a lot of different types of rosters this season. Some of their best hitters aren't even in the lineup tonight, and they're still doing serious damage.
Bayou fastball from Evans as he loses his head. A beautiful pitch on the outside portion of the plate, and the guy who really isn't known for too much of his velocity just blew one right past the bat in Hackett. Second strikeout of the game.
Sometimes when it all fails, Sam, as a pitcher, I feel like you just want to throw it as hard as you can and see what happens. And for Evans, there was a good way to bounce back, located it well, and was able to draw the big strike 3. Already 2 strikeouts for him early.
And now all of a sudden, a guy who's a huge ground ball pitcher, he gets a ground ball up the middle. He's likely out of this inning unscathed, or not unscathed, but only with 1 run. So after surrendering the leadoff homer, does not let any of those guys on base to score. But a bunt from the Lumber Kings down the first base line, and that one will go foul.
So, Sam, I guess I'll ask you this because I know you can explain it better than I can. What's the advantage of bunting in this situation in a 1-out with the runners in the corner?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, you're up 4. I mean, if that run at third mattered a little bit more, I'd say so. But, I mean, trying to get a run to score and get a run in scoring position, but that's obviously a big risk with the runner at third, and see if he tries to come home. Fly ball in the left field now. That will be caught by Braga. Runner will tag, play at the plate, but he's safe. Jacobs just narrowly gets in there, and the wheels of the Ball State Cardinal makes it a 5-0 game.
I mean, Sam, that was a gun from Braga in left field. It looked like Jacobs, who's been speedy already in this game, was going to get there by a while. The Bees crowds don't like it. What a throw, and a nice tag attempt from Moore, but Jacobs able to avoid it, and it's Coach Soli who doesn't like it, making his way onto the infield grass.
So Clay Jacobs, who tested the Yarmouth Figueroa to get to third base, and that worked to his benefit. Now a play by Braga that really should not have been as close as it was, and
Agreed.
Just a tremendous throw there from Luke Braga, and just could not get the speedy Jacobs.
So Thien with the RBI there. 2 games, 2 ribbies for him on the sac flies. He's doing well, and Evans trying to bounce back here after already giving up 2 runs.
Fires in the first pitch slider there, and Evans just can get out of this inning with 2. Hopefully his offense can back him up, but we've mentioned so many times before, this Bees offense has just struggled to get going, and they just have some nights where they just hit the cover off the ball, and some nights where they can't even hit the bottom of the ball.
Agreed, and with how good this prospect league and how high-scoring game can get, that is just not a pattern you want to get into early this season.
0-2 from Evans, and low pitch is just narrowly fouled off, and we'll do the 0-2 one more time.
Big game today in the Prospect League, 9-game slate, a huge game. 2 huge games, actually, in Thrillville at Alton. Thrillville been the top team so far in the Prospect League against a good Alton team, then O'Fallon at Jackson.
0-2 offering from Evans, goes with the off speed, and that ball is a fly ball. Going to be a tough play, but ranging on it is Braga, and makes the catch for out number 3. So 2 runs scored, 1 by via the homer, and 1 on a sac fly, and the Lumber Kings extend their lead. Now it's 5-0.
The Lumber Kings score 2.
Do not underestimate the heart of a champion, or in that case, a MAC champion in Clay Jacobs, and he showed his heart and hustle to play across that 5th run for the Lumber Kings. Now top of the order, coming up for the Burlington Bees, it's Figueroa, Akers, and Moore. Figueroa lined one to first base that Rouet could not have a good grip on, and as a result, Figueroa with his speed reached on an infield error, was not able to score, was stranded at third base, was one of 3 Bees that were stranded back in that first inning. They're hoping that they can get their first hit and get their first run across the board here after Clinton got 2 in the top half. First pitch skied in the air and fouled just a little towards our left. It's 0-1.
So now you're through the order. You've seen this pitcher that not a lot of teams in the Prospect League has early on. You know what he types of throws, and this is where this Bees order really needs to lock down and get some hits. Back up the pitching that has struggled early on today.
0-1 offering. It's 1-1. You mentioned second time through the order, and we'll see if the Bees can do damage. They did damage to the first time through the order, but struggled second time through the order when they played the starter in Rauch last night, and then eventually forced it to the bullpen. 1-1 now to Figueroa, and he lines one in left field. Jacobs makes the catch, and that's out number 1. So after a long first inning, we've been working a lot quicker here as a lot of contact that Martin has been forcing, has 2 strikeouts, but forcing a lot of fly balls. But unfortunately for the Bees, they are not putting good enough swings on those fly balls. It's just going right to an outfielder because of weak contact.
And speaking of fly balls, Landon Akers comes up, and his 1 out today is on a fly ball to the outfield.
He's not going to fly that ball as he bunts towards the pitcher. Tough play, but Martin makes the play for out number 2. So he's been working relatively quickly, only 38 pitches, and Akers just playing that to his benefit, going with the bunt, and just could not get it across.
And last night it was the Bees who benefited from efficient pitching from their starter and Bobby Helt. They've been against good starting pitching this season. We saw Anthony Solis light them up last time Illinois Valley was here before yesterday. And today it's Brandon Martin who is walking all over the Bees here. No hits allowed early on.
Struggleful first inning, but ever since then, the Bees have been able to regroup. Still no hits. They've been making contact, but nothing has fallen for the Bees. The only 3 base runners have reached on an error, walk, and hit by pitch. Moore fouls one straight back. It's 1-1.
Yeah, I think what is relieving is, like you said, that the Bees are making contact here. So say they get a little lucky here, get some momentum, it could potentially lead to a rally, but right now feels far away from that, Sam.
Seen quite a few 2-out rallies from the Bees before, and we'll see if they can get another one going here as Reese Moore is ahead of the count, 2-1.
And that was one thing I did ask Coach Owen Oreskovich yesterday, who is not here, is with some teams, he said, have it in the ability to make comebacks. And the Bees have made some pretty memorable comebacks this season. We're making one before their game got suspended 2 days ago at Illinois Valley.
Ball's grounded and booted in the infield. So another infield base runner for the Bees. We'll see if this is scored as another error or a hit. That one was a little tougher to get to, so that might be the first Bee hit of the ball game.
Yeah, and it was off the bottom of Cook's glove and just got popped up, officially ruled as a hit. So it's who else but Reese Moore to do it. And like you said, probably the best Bees hitter since joining the squad last week.
So you can cancel the postgame show. No hitter is no longer in effect. And now let's see if Merrick Matthews can get that run across. The Bees have stranded 3 runners in this ballgame already and in danger of stranding a 4th.
Yeah, that's a huge hit from Moore. While it isn't conventional, it works, and that gets the Bees on the board here, potentially build some momentum.
Keeps the line moving for a big power bat in Matthews, but you also hope that he can just extend the line for bat and Cooper Donlin, who's just been efficient at getting on base seemingly every game. 7 of his last 8 games, he's gotten on base 2+ times. Now Martin, extended hold with the runner on first, still holding. Finally deals, and it's a low pitch called for a ball. Moore with a little bit of an aggressive lead there, has to scurry back, and I'll tell you, it was a lot closer than the Bees wanted it to be.
Did some of his best pitching out of the stretch early on in the game. Did give up a walk and a hit by pitch out of the stretch, but went 2 flyouts and a strikeout in his 5 batters he faced.
Matthews walked in his previous at-bat here tonight. Another extended delivery from Martin. That one isn't really either close either, so it's 2-0.
I'm curious if maybe it is reverse announcer's jinx there. What is the stretch that's making him have the extended delivery, or just keep an eye on Moore at first?
Moore's definitely been playing some games at first base. Some surprising speed for a catcher. 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts on the year. Big swing and a miss by Matthews. Another check on the runner at first by the catcher in Thien, but has to get 30, but Moore's back in.
He's living in the head of both the pitcher and the catcher right now, who are really keeping an eye on Moore. Like you said, just a 3 for 3 in stolen bases, surprising wheels for a predominant catcher.
2-1 count for Matthews. Iowa Hawkeye. Takes a low pitch, and it's 3-1. A good stop there from Thien to not let that ball get away.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Thien's defense so far. He had a good throw on that Figueroa stolen base in the first inning, even though they didn't get the out there. Had that good throw last time to check Moore at first, and then a good stop here. Nice work behind the plate for him. See if he can keep it up.
3-1 count for Matthews here. We'll see if he can get a second walk of the ball game. He flies one into the outfield left side. Jacobs calling for it. Loses his hat, but makes the catch for out number 3. So plenty of fly balls for this B offense, but unfortunately not one has fallen. Their lone hit has come off an infield single from Reese Moore. 5-0 Lumber Kings heading top 4.
So Father's Day comes one day early at Community Field, and a pretty legendary father-son pairing. The story of the night here at Community Field, Anibal Figueroa, and then now his son Jace Figueroa, who has already reached base on a walk and picked up a stolen base here. A pretty cool story, and you could see on your screen right now, Anibal, a first baseman, and Jace, definitely not that. If you're on the pregame interview, you could hear Anibal talking about how him and Jace, very different styles, but he loves the way that Jace works, and a lot to be proud of for the dad and Anibal, who's a bit of a legend in the baseball community here in Burlington, Iowa. Liam Sample joined alongside Sam Egan here as we head to the fourth inning. Joe Evans out for his third inning of work. A weird inning of struggle for him to get up 4 total hits and 2 total runs here as we're now in the top of the fourth. The Bees trying to keep it a 5-0 game.
It's an interesting thing on Figueroa, on Jace Figueroa. I feel like he probably has more stolen bases than his dad already.
And there's a base hit here early from Will Stark, the leadoff hitter. He's going to round first and go all the way to the second on a ball hit sharply up the foul line that Agnew had no chance at. And the continuing to do work here in the batter's box is Clinton, as Will Stark now 2 for 2 with a walk and a double there to start off the inning.
So another leadoff guy reaches base for the Lumber Kings. There's 3rd and 4 innings, and all 3 of them scored. Of course, the one last inning scored by himself with the home run.
And no matter what coach it is, Terry McGuinn, the Mount Mercy assistant coach, stepping in for Jack Dom, the Mount Mercy head coach, and Clinton's head coach, and he's really picking up where his head coach at both his college and team left off with an offense against the Bees. Won both the games of a doubleheader, and then the Bees go to Clinton tomorrow. So for the Bees, really looking to take 1 or 2 of these games and not on a good start here, already trailing 5-0 with a runner on second. 0-1 count here on Blake Timmons, has struck out twice, including 2 Evans in the second inning. As the 0-1 hit hard into right field, that'll drop in for a base hit. Runner will be stopped at third, so runners on first and third here as Timmons reaches for the first time today on a single, double single to open up, and Evans in trouble once more.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for Timmons to not be putting good swings on the bat. Only had 5 strikeouts coming in this ball game here tonight, and already almost half of that with 2 here in this ball game. So you felt like he was due for a hit. A guy who's had 395 coming into the evening, and he finally gets his knock, but runners forced to stay at 3.
So Evans now dealing in on Cougar Cook with the RBI single, his first time to get Clinton on the board. Currently the winning run, with it being a 5-0 game. Already 7 hits here for Clinton. And the Lumber Kings, who dominated an exhibition game here on Sunday, won 16-1 through 7 innings. As that ball dropped in the dirt more, will take the mask off quickly, but runners stay in place here. Wasn't really much anywhere to go. Now the count to 1-1.
Interested to see the approach from Evans here. First time he's really struggled all year, so just see if he continues to attack the zone or starts to lose his control a little bit.
Runner thought about taking off here. Moore will quickly check him at first. So Timmons in his first time on the base pad, wreaking a bit of havoc on the right side as he thought about taking off, went back, but did draw the throw from Moore, but the count to 1-2.
Think slider here, you think he's going to go with the heat?
We'll see what he does. Has some pitches to work with here up in the count. Evans now deals runner, takes off, swing and a miss. Moore thought about the throw, but had the runner in front of him, the Cook who struck out in front of him. So Evans with his 3rd K of the day, and the runner will be forced to go back.
Yeah, I believe that was batter's interference there on Cook, and did not allow Moore to make the throw to second base. So as a result, it's interference, and the runner has to go back to where he's. Oh, excuse me, he's out. That's a double play because of batter's interference.
So an unconventional double play here. As the runner is thrown out first, we'll let our scoring staff, likely Terry, have to deal with that, because that's something that's going to be a bit hard to throw in the computer program there. But 2 outs on the board here for Evans, who gets a bit of a lucky break and a very timely strikeout for him. Now trying to strand the runner on third with Mr. Home Run, R.J. Rouet at the plate. First pitch from Evans, swung on, hit hard up the right side, and that'll be a base hit. Another RBI for Rouet will score the run, as he'll take off for second and reach safely on a double. Rouet doing it all with another RBI. And 2 on the day here through 2 innings to make it a 6-0 game.
His 3rd time reaching his 2nd extra base hit of the ball game, and despite the fact he's faced the left-hander in Evans, he's seemingly been better against the same side pitcher, and doing some big-time damage against the Bees. His second RBI of the ballgame and his second extra base hit.
9 hits and 6 runs here for Clinton. Evans has now allowed 3 runs over the last 2 innings, and 2 of those are to R.J. Rouet, the man standing on second. Another pitch fired in there for a strike. Good start here for Evans as it's Clay Jacobs, the Ball State Cardinals, scored in the last inning on that really impressive throw from Luke Braga.
Reached on an infield single, so Jacobs' entire sequence of the base paths was showing off his pure speed.
Pitch on the outside will be called for a ball to make it 1-1. So Evans looking to bounce back here against Jacobs. Single and an infield single have allowed him to reach twice. That includes the single that came in the third. 1 inning later, looking for the 10th hit of the game here early on for Clinton. Off speed worked in there for a strike to make the count 1-2. So even if the Bees are able to get out of this, they're going to need their offense, which is among the bottom ranked in the Prospect League, to try to wake up here and make up the 6 runs. Hoping to keep it at 6 here as Evans against the Ball State Cardinal in the 1-2 count. Evans deals. Swung on. That'll go off of Jacobs here to keep the count just where it's at.
So Evans went with the front door slider on that previous pitch, and on that last pitch to try and put away Jacobs, goes with a little fastball on the outside. So now I'm curious to see if he continues to try and go with that fastball, or he goes with a little bit of a slider out of the zone and try and get Jacob to swing.
Rouet, 11 RBIs already this season for the Baylor Bear. Only pitched there this season, and in terms of his hitting, has rigged and potentially could be impactful for the Power 5 school next season. Jacobs, the Indian Lake, Ohio native. Getting ready here for the 1-2. Evans pitch. Swung on. Will be popped up into center field. Figueroa will call, and he'll make the play for the 3rd out. So another run let up, this time on 2 hits with a runner left on base. R.J. Rouet, 2 RBIs in the last 2 innings as it's 6-0 heading to the bottom of the 4th.
Since we're celebrating
Bees fans, experience the power and excitement of live events with TicketSmarter. You can find seats in more than 125,000 live events ranging from sports to concerts and theater shows on TicketSmarter.com. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticket resale marketplace partner of the Burlington Bees, providing a safe and secure way to buy and sell tickets to your favorite events. The next time you need tickets, think smarter, think TicketSmarter. And to talk about a smart hitter here, and Cooper Donlin trying to put on a show for some of these fans who may have used TicketSmarter to get their tickets here. Liam Sample joined alongside Sam Egan, bottom of the 4th. Clinton all over the Burlington Bees here. The Bees 1 hit compared to Clinton's 9, and no runs compared to their 6, as Cooper Donlin, the new RBI leader for the Burlington Bees, the first Bee to get into the double-digit club yesterday with his 10th. That came in the 1st inning. The Bees not as much success in the early innings, trying to change that here for Donlin, who's quickly down 0-1.
They've been making good contact all day. They just have not gotten the ball to fall, so we'll see if they can do that here.
Hit by his pitch his first time and nearly done on the 2nd time to make the count 1-1. Brandon Martin just making quick work of the Burlington Bees after that 1st inning where he allowed 3 base runners on a combination of walks and hit by pitches. Donlin swings and pops this one up to center field. It'll be called by Stark, and he'll make the play here for another flyout. Feels like we're writing Fs all over the scoreboard for this Martin pitcher, who is just drawing contact every which way, but those ways into the gloves of his fielders.
Just trusting his defense and just throwing pitches that are hittable for these pitchers, but not hittable enough to make good contact, and just trust the defense behind him, and they haven't served him wrong so far.
The Bees stranded 3 on base in the first inning, trailing 3-0, have allowed 3 since then. And we'll see if it's a pitching change coming up for the third inning of work with 3 runs allowed for Joe Evans, all of which have been earned. As the 0-1 from Dunn popped up once more, this time to the left side. It's Jacobs who will come in and make the catch in shallow left field for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down quickly here for Martin, who's continuing to sting these Bees. So that'll bring up Skylar Agnew here, another Hawaii Pacific product, who struck out his first time to lead off the second inning. Agnew yesterday went 0 for 4 with a strikeout, but does have a walk against Clinton this season. Did not start in the game where he had a walk and came in and got the BB. And now quickly up 1-0 here on Martin. This pitch will be swung on and just go directly behind him into foul territory. Weather continuing to be beautiful in Burlington as the sun's starting to set. We did get some rain in the middle of the week, but the weekend has shaped out to be very nice weather as the Bees will have an early departure tomorrow, taking on Clinton at 2 o'clock at Nelson Corp Field in Clinton, Iowa. It's a big divisional game. Also the Battle of Iowa. The Bees took down Illinois Valley in a huge divisional win yesterday. Clinton lost to Lafayette. 4-9 overall record for the Burlington Bees, looking to avoid falling to 500 at Community Field. Currently 4-3 as Agnew take a pitch on the inside to make the count 3-1.
Bees have recorded 11 outs in this ball game, and 8 of them have been flyouts. So putting the ball in play, like we've mentioned, just right at the outfielders, and just led to outs.
Martin now in the 3-1. This pitch up high. Agnew can't believe the call there, but will have to make his way back as he'll check with the home place umpire.
I like that take from Agnew there.
He liked the take also, but now has to see the 3-2. This one swung on, will go foul again. So a quality at bat here for Agnew and for a Burlington Bees team that's really in desperate need of these types of at bats, Sam.
If I'm looking correctly, I think Joe Evans is just making his walk to and from the bullpen, which likely means his day is done. So might see a new Beast pitcher coming out next inning.
Would be the third. The Bees struggling with the only pitcher Clinton's thrown out there, and Martin, his first start of the year, and the swing and a miss for a strikeout. So Martin with another K here has 3 early on and goes another 1-2-3 to retire the Burlington Bees in order. To the halfway inning we go here at Community Field. Clinton 6, Burlington 0.
And we welcome you back to Community Field here in Burlington, Iowa. New pitcher on the mound for the Bees, and it's someone that both these coaches are very familiar with, Mount Mercy product and Eric Kiewit. Although he was with Mount Mercy, he did not see any action this season with the Mustangs. Spent his past 3 seasons at Iowa Wesleyan, where he had a 12.15 ERA in 7 innings pitched. In 2022, he had a UCL injury, and it wasn't until this spring where he was able to make his return, and he's been a solid arm for this Bees team since.
Couldn't agree with you more for Kiewit. And all those Iowa Wesleyan guys, it's pretty interesting because they had to frantically find new colleges with Iowa Wesleyan closing back 2 seasons ago. Kiewit founding his new home at Mount Mercy, where he's looking to build upon a summer where he could potentially get action next season, Sam, and trying to impress 2 more of his coaches. Would have been 2 had it been a typical day, but gets to deal with 2 of his assistants today.
Kiewit on for his 4th appearance, has gone an inning in each of his appearances, has 6 runs allowed, 4 of them earned, and ERA that is exactly at 12.
So it's a freshman in Carson Grau already having a good day, a pair of RBIs and a pair of hits for him. Kiewit trying to give the Burlington Bees much-needed stability here.
See if Kiewit can do so. He fires on a first pitch fastball. Strike 1.
I love it, Sam. Fresh out of the bullpen and just trying to run it right by guys. Good call there from Kiewit and a lot of fun way to start your day off.
It's Carson Grau, the left-handed third baseman. Second pitch, a changeup that just finds the inside portion of the zone, and that was just a beautiful pitch for strike 2.
Well, I guess with Evans going 3 innings, Kiewit probably had an extended warm-up, and he's just displaying that here early. He looks warm and ready to go, Sam.
0-2 offering. Kiewit, fastball on the outside, and does not get the call. So a little bit outside, good frame job from Mayer, but cannot get the call. Strike 3, which some B fans disagreed with. Now 1-2 upcoming here for Kiewit. His offering, slider that just misses the back door, and it's 2-2. So Grau, a Kelowna, Iowa native. Hit .457 at the University of Iowa this year in 105 at-bats.
Insane, Sam, as we're almost halfway home here, and the clock reading 7:47. It was 7:05 by the time the second inning started, and since then it's been smooth sailing and cruising for fans. If you want to go home early, you're likely on your way to.
A full count. Flies this ball in the right field. Calling it is Donlin and making the catch near center field for out number 1. So, beg on pardon, Carson Grau actually did not hit .457 at Iowa. That would be immensely impressive. He hit .457 in high school and is going to Iowa this year. So, just a recent high school graduate, and instead of deciding to play his senior high school season in Iowa, he's deciding to play here in the Prospect League.
Yeah, Sam, if he hit .457 at Iowa,
probably get drafted.
Not sure he'd be in the Prospect League. Again, no grab of the Prospect League, but like you said, could be on his way to another league, and that's the MLB.
Another left-handed bat, as we've seen all day from this Lumber King team. This time it's James Hackett, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, so he's seemingly the one guy who hasn't been able to get on base. Top of the lineup has been crucial for the Lumber Kings team. Each of them have got on base twice, 1 through 6, but 7 through 9 have yet to reach base at all in this ballgame.
Some really interesting results around the Prospect League right now, Sam. Thrillville currently trailing to Alton currently. I said the sneaky Alton squad, and for Thrillville has been the top team in the Prospect League. That could be a tough result for them, currently trailing 4-1 on the road. And then O'Fallon is just blowing out Jackson right now. A 12-0 score there in the top of the second. Well, how good of a team Jackson is, and O'Fallon has been very sneaky against good teams this season. And they really handed the Bees some tough results here. So defensive substitution, what do you got there, Sam?
I think Jace Figueroa, obviously we saw earlier on that attempted play to bring back the home run by, Ruwe. I think he was just a little bit shaken up on his wrist, and as a result, new center fielder in the ballgame.
Nice 6-3 converted there from the Bees. Now Agnew continue to have a good day at third for a very rare bright spot for the Burlington Bees.
So 6-3 ground out there, and quickly 2 away. So we'll see Reed take over that leadoff spot as well as the center field position, and huge spot for him, placing a guy in Figueroa who has done nothing but get on base so far this season.
Yeah, James Hackett for the Clinton team has done nothing but hit. He's out 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Now the ground out his last time. Dean did have an RBI his last time on a sac fly, but has not reached base on a hit today.
Dean takes the first pitch, called for a ball. So Kiewit has not really gone more than an inning out of the bullpen, but with his success at least so far and him throwing a small amount of pitches, it's definitely possible to see Kiewit have a bit of an extended outing here.
And with only 2 pitchers yesterday, a lot of pitchers getting the opportunity to rest Sam. So for Kiewit here, you can be an opportunity to get some length.
So he can continue to give that length for his skipper. Already the 3rd arm we've seen for Burlington. They only used 2 last night, so have plenty of arms available, but don't want to burn through them all with 9 games in 9 days.
Couldn't agree with you more, and that's where that performance last night is just super clutch. It's something you can't bank on, in my opinion, as a coaching staff, but it's something you'll definitely meet the rewards of. So these almost get to freshen a lot of these arms up, and with how struggling the pitching has been today, it's rather clutch.
2-1 offering from Kiewit. That's a line drive into left field. Racing towards it and carrying is Braga, and he can't get there. That'll be a 1-hopper off the wall and a 2-out double from Noah Thien.
Thien had an RBI his last time, another 10th hit of the day through 5 innings here for Clinton. They are really flexing their offensive muscles here for a team that's top 5 in the league in runs.
They're showing why their offense has been so successful all year, and even with 2 outs, they're still keeping the line moving, and a chance for a 2-out run here for the 9-hole hitter in Jesse Contreras. So Thien is the first guy in that 7 through 9 part of the lineup to get a hit all day for Clinton. Big time for him here, as that's hit number 10 for the Lumber Kings.
And I think what's even more impressive about that, Sam, is that they have scored 6 runs and have 10 hits through these first few innings of action, and with their bottom of the order doing virtually nothing up until this point.
Top of the lineup making most of the opportunities given to them. We'll see if the Bees are able to do the same thing with their offense and not leave guys on base.
Yeah, so you have to give credit to Terry McGuinn. He put together what seems to be a banger lineup for him so far at the top of the order, doing their job and scoring a lot here.
A lot of lefties in this lineup, so I like the strategy from Coach Sully to go with the right-handed opener and then go with Evans for a few innings, but unfortunately Evans just did not have his best stuff today.
Yeah, him and the pitching coach and Tyler Richards share an office, so I'm sure a lot of discourse about them with how they want to deploy the pitching, and today they opted to go with that strategy. While it was a tough day for Evans, I still agree with you. I still don't hate the vision from them and the idea.
With the lineup stacked with left-handers, and Evans has been really good against left-handers all year, but fortunately faced a guy in RJ Rouet who is insanely solid lefty-lefty, which is a rare asset in baseball. 1-2 offering from Kiewit. That spiked into the dirt, and Thien with the 2-out double is all of a sudden 90 feet away from scoring after the pass ball.
Yeah, I'll wait to see how this one scored. Likely it might be a wild pitch, Sam, as the ball was in the dirt and really didn't give much of an opportunity to go and get it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely more of a wild pitch than a pass ball, and likely will be the ruling there. And now even count 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in a 6-0 ball game. The Clinton Lumber Kings are on top of the Burlington Bees in this interstate rivalry.
Bees, if you count the exhibition, 0-4 against Clinton this season, and could be on their way to an 0-5 game, Sam, with how tough the result has been here, looking to bounce back against one of the better teams in the Prospect League this season and one that's had their number this year.
And these are teams that have played each other since 1962, obviously dating back to their high A minor league affiliate days. 2-2 from Kiewit. He strikes him out swinging. Moore able to keep that in his glove and squeeze that foul tip from Contreras for strike number 3. So the first strikeout from Kiewit gets him out of a mini jam that he created with 2 outs, and the Bees look to finally get some offense going, down 6-0 with only 1 hit, heading bottom 5.
So Father Day celebrated one day here early at Community Field. A nice tribute between innings as our PA announcer and Rob asking all the fathers to stand up got honored, including a standing O from some of the members of the Burlington Bees dugout. A well-deserved tribute here for the fathers as we get ready for another inning of action. Bottom of the fifth here, Brendan Markin sent out for his fifth inning of work. Yesterday it was the Bees who benefited from really good starting pitching in 6 2/3 inning of Bobby Hell with 2 runs allowed. And today, Brendan Martin's only allowed 1 hit in a lot of action here through 4 innings. It's Braga who will lead off the inning, then Bittner, and then back to the top of the order where Jackson Reed will get his first at-bat of the game. First pitch fired in there from a strike. Sam, I want to pose this question to you. What's been impressing you about Brendan Martin here early on? Boy, is he dealing.
I think it's just ability to find the strike zone. Walked a couple guys, hit a batter in the first inning. Despite that, did not let that get in his head with a decently high pitch count. But ever since then, his pitch count per inning, he's thrown less than 10 pitches in every inning. So just forcing contact, forcing weak contact, and these Bees hitters just have no answer for him. Just getting under baseballs, and fortunately for the Bees, it just played to their disadvantages. None of that weak contact has gotten to fall, and the guys they've gotten on base, they've left stranded.
1-2 here on Braga. Worked in on the inside. Good take here from Braga. So still without both these head coaches and Coach Oner Eskovich and Jack Dahm, it's still biting off of the same sandwich with Terry McGuinn, a Mount Mercy assistant, and then a graduate assistant in Casey Soley on the other side. As a pitch on the inside, it'll be a good take here from Braga from 1-2 to 3-2 for Braga. It's been a bit of a tough start to the season for him. Slash 167, 286 for him. 9 hits for Clinton, and the Bees only have 1, desperate for their second. The 3-2 swung on, will be popped up on the left side. A very Brendan Markin characteristic out, as it'll be the simple catch from Jacobs out and left.
So after a long at-bat, Braga just does what the rest of his teammates have done all night, and another fly out for the Bees. That's number 9 in 13 outs for them. So got to try and have a different approach at the plate. Obviously, 3-outcome baseball is overcome baseball, and you're just trying to drive the ball. But I think the Bees have to just change their approach, just try and hit the ball on the ground and see if you can just find a hole.
This one swung on into left field. That ball will be carrying, looking up, and it's gone. Actually, it'll be off the top of the wall. Strange bounce there. Bittner will slide into second. So Bittner's first pitch, he sees second hit of the game, and a much-needed extra base hit for the Burlington Bees.
And his first hit as a Burlington Bee comes as an extra base hit. Much needed time for Bittner. So we've seen this Bees team come back from many deficits before. Obviously, the most recent one that's all in the front of our minds was the 10-1 deficit turned to 11-10 lead before that game was suspended in Illinois Valley the other day. But you just got to get it back one at a time. And with the wide advertisements out there, it's definitely confusing to see the ball, and just dropped out there for a knock, and Jacobs just cannot see it.
Like you said, with the completely white wall, that's two-pronged to make a tough play for the outfielders, and it was looking up was Jacobs and left, but it dropped in there for Bittner as the Bees finally drive a ball to the wall instead of an outfielder's glove. Reed's first at-bat of the game, played in both games against Clinton this season, Sam, 0 for 8, but did have 2 RBIs in Game 2 for Jackson Reed. So far this season, a batting average of .083, a tough start for the Chandler Gilbert Community College freshman.
See if the Gilbert, Arizona native can get a huge knock here.
As he grounds this one up the left side softly. That'll be no throw attempted here, so an infield single from Jackson Reed, new leadoff hitter, and no problem for the Bees as he's able to reach at first and put runners on the corners.
Not the first time we've seen that from Jackson Reed, and he just has the ability to lay down a bunt, and you don't always have to be the fastest guy to lay down a bunt. You just put it in the perfect position and it'll result in a hit, and I feel like Jackson Reed's just ability to bunt the ball is criminally underrated, and as a result, he picks himself another hit. Sway the bunt.
So this will bring up Landon Akers here. The Bellarmine attendee did not play a single game there, but has been a big-time hitter for the Burlington Bees. Went 1 for 4 yesterday, but did have a 3 for 4 game against Clinton this season. Martin tried to check the runner at first. Big opportunity for the Bees. Their biggest since the first inning as they strike 2 hits together for the first time today. Off speed from Martin, going high in the zone. So this is, outside of that first inning, this is the first time we've seen him struggle, and the first time we've seen him struggle with hits as the Bees finally making some good contact here, and the count 1-0 on Landon Akers.
Though he's much more of a fly ball pitcher, ground ball could definitely get him out of this inning.
Already has 1 out, and off speed missed high, and now 2-0 here for Akers. A very smart hitter in Landon Akers, was a team MVP at his high school at St. Xavier. Also played soccer and was their place kicker in high school. So see if he can display his legs here in the 2-0 count. As this one hit hard up the left side, into the glove of the shortstop, throw across the diamond, and that'll be not in time and score a run. So Landon Akers with the first RBI of the game for the Burlington Bees. That's ribby number 5 for him on the season, and Burlington finally on the board here in the bottom of the 5th.
Back-to-back infield hits for the Bees, but it doesn't matter how you do it. It looks the same in the stat sheet tomorrow morning. And now brings up one of the hottest hitters in all of Burlington, and Reese Moore, team leader in average and on-base percentage, and looking for his first B home run here, which he already had 5 of those at Iowa.
Arms are up in this bullpen, and it's Terry McGuinn who will make his way out and check either on Martin or could be it for his day. A very successful one for Brandon Martin, but will leave in a very tough situation, likely, if that's it for Brendan.
No official motion has been moved out to the arm barn yet, so I think McGinn is going to keep his starter in Martin out there.
I don't really personally feel there's any reason not to. He's pitched very, very well today, and to back-to-back infield singles could have easily ended up in outs.
It's Bees lineup that's been making contact all day, and if one of those fly balls gets turned on, all of a sudden it's a different ball game, and the Bees are within striking distance. So Reese Moore is a guy who displays a lot of pop, and although the wind has stopped blowing here, big chance for him to just blow one over that right field fence.
Reed with the infield single, Akers with another, and Moore pops his first pitch up, hooking quickly into foul territory, and that'll make its way left of the bleachers to make the count 0-1. So only 1 out here for the Bees, who have runners on first and second. String together back-to-back hits. Double and then single for Reed and single for Akers to score a run. To get Burlington on the board here, trying to whittle away at now a 5-run deficit. Moore got the first hit of the game for the Bees last time he was up, ironically enough, on an infield single. Another pitch fouled back to make the count 0-2 as Carson Bittner, who led off with his first Bees hit and a double that led off this rally with an out.
Bees have 3 singles. All of them have been in the infield. That's how baseball goes sometimes, right?
Absolutely. Is Bittner the only person to get a hit on a ball in the outfield? The Bees have hit plenty of balls in the outfield today with a ton of flyouts. The 0-2. And that'll be a strike 3 call on an off-speed from Martin. So the call to leave the pitcher in remains beneficial, and a big strikeout here puts 2 on the board for Clinton.
It's a tough guy to get a strikeout on, too, and really nice-looking changeup there to fool Moore. Moore definitely did not think that pitch was a strike. Looked a little low, but gets the call nonetheless, and now just 1 out away from getting out of this inning with limited damage, which would be huge for Clinton. Another big power threat in Matthews.
He'll take the first pitch on the inside, called strike. Some big, gutsy strike throws from Martin. You mentioned Merrick Matthews coming up to the plate. One of the biggest power guys on this team has popped out and walked so far in this game for Merrick. The 0-1 will be worked on the inside and make the count 0-2. Helitech offers permanent solutions in waterproofing and foundation repair to heal your home symptoms. Heal your home with Helitech. As the Bees trying to heal their home record, trying to avoid going back to 500, avoid making it 4-4. And on the rally here, a really nice take there from Matthews. Catcher and theme thought the inning was over, so did Martin, but he'll make his way back to the mound now, 1-2.
Now has to make another pitch after he thought he was out of the inning, so you see how Martin attacks here and if he peppers the zone, or there was a rather uncompetitive pitch here on 1-2.
Since McGuinn came out, Sam, he's only thrown strikes. That's his first ball since the head coach today checking on him, and now a pitch on the outside will be 2 straight balls and gets Matthews in more of a hitter-friendly count.
So maybe let that last pitch get in the head a little bit as he tossed one that was really uncompetitive on the outside portion of the plate. Now Matthews is in an even count here, and he's ready to swing the bat.
Donlin, the team leader in RBIs, on deck here. 2-2, and this pitch will be fouled right back to keep the count 2-2 here. Staying alive comes on, a very good theme here for Matthews. Fell down 0-2 and now grinding this at bat out.
He just missed that one, getting just a tad under it. And if he's able to make contact with that one and time it up, be a 2-run ball game more than likely.
Martin dealing. And that'll strike Matthews here, the second hit by pitch of this game, and that'll be another one to load the bases here as Matthews reached twice on a walk and a hit by pitch to bring up the RBI leader for the Burlington Bees, and Cooper Donlin reached one time and 2 at-bats, ironically enough, on a hit by pitch.
So he had an opportunity for RBIs in his last at-bat and got hit by the pitch to load the bases. That came with 2 outs, and last time the Bees loaded the bases with 2 outs, they were not able to plate across any, and looking to make up for it in the second time through.
Martin tried to get out of a bases-loaded jam for the second time today. Pitch on the outside for Donlin makes it count 1-0. He got out of the jam via the bat of, it was actually Christian Dunn who struck out on a bit of a controversial call. And on the inside, nearly struck again as Donlin, but that pitch works its way back to the strike zone to make it 1-0. Another pretty pitch here from Martin, who continues to deal.
And with how far in Donlin is on the strike zone, any pitch that's pretty close to him, it's going to be called for a strike.
As he swings this one on a broken bat signal up the right side. Throw to first will be in time, so the Bees get on the board, but strand 3 on the base. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base, and another suffocating rally for the Burlington Bees. That is cut short. 6-1. We head to the 6th here when we return.
Welcome back to Community Field. So Eric Hewitt indeed out for his second inning of work after a long bottom half of the fifth, for the Bees, but only were able to plate across one. A little bit of a better chicken lip race than we had last night, and we'll see if the Bees can start to dig into this deficit a little more, but first they need Eric Hewitt to do exactly what he did last inning and deliver 0. He's got the top of the lineup to deal with, though, and we've seen many times before that this is the part of the lineup that does damage. 1 through 6 has gotten on base at least once, if not twice, in every plate appearance. This is plate appearance number 4 for Will Stark, who is 2 for 2 with a double, a single, and a walk back in the first inning. So technically halfway to the cycle, and we'll see if he starts shooting for the Stars here. 0-1 pitch to Stark, the center fielder, and he flies one right into the netting, and it's 0-2. So Stark was able to get to third base back in the first inning on a walk and a pass ball, and later ended up scoring on the single from Cougar Cook. That was the first run in the ball game, and right now that is the tying run. The 0-2 to him, grounds that one in between first and second for a base hit. So right into the Bermuda Triangle almost between first, second, and just a little bit of a nice piece of hitting for Stock to pick up his third base hit of the ball game.
What a game it's been for Stark. Like he's had 3 hits, but an infield single, a deep double, and then now a single here. He's really done it all with many different styles of putting the ball in play. Reach every time.
That brings up Timmons, who is 1 for 3. A pair of strikeouts looking, but in his last at-bat, was able to finally get it going for the guy who's hitting .395 this year. Got his first base hit of the ball game, but was called out at second, not to his own fault, but Cougar Cook's better interference when Timmons was trying to snatch second base. So that was an unconventional double play back in the 4th inning. A couple pitches from Kiewit that were close, but could not get the call, and it's 2-0. Kiewit facing off the left-hander in Timmons. Fires and deals. Just misses another one, so missing high in both spots, missing just high the first time and high and outside that second time, and now it is 3-0, and tough situation for the right-hander in Kiewit to be in. First pitch fired in, though, for a strike there from Kiewit. Automatic take there from Timmons. Is a fastball right down the middle, essentially. A 3-1 offering coming from Kiewit. Kicks and deals. Inside pitch. And gets it past the catcher in Moore. And Moore was not hustling to the ball, so Will Stark takes third base on that walk. And Timmons was thinking about taking second there, too.
Yeah, that was a bit of a strange play, like you said, with the runner going all the way to third on the ball, that getting away from Moore. Now they're going to wait and see how this one's called. Do you think that Timmons was hit there, Sam?
It looked close. He had to jump out of the way of it. And indeed, they call it a hit by pitch, so the runner has to move back to second. But a great heads-up piece of base running by Will Stark. And I think Reese Moore just thought that ball hit Timmons and just did not get up right away to go for the ball. And thankfully for the Bees, it is not a bigger issue than it is. However, they have the first two guys on base here in the 6th inning as interim manager Terry McGinn asked some questions here.
I think rightfully so. He does have some questions here due to the uncertainty that was associated with that call. So now we'll just wait and see, Sam.
So rather quick discussion with home plate umpire George Tidewell. Now left-hander at the dish. It's Caden Cook. Drove in that tying run all the way back in the 1st inning and hasn't done anything productive since. A ground out and a strikeout. First pitch high there from Kiewit. He's just narrowly missing, but still missing the zone nonetheless, and it's 1-0. Just can't get these Lumber King hitters to swing at that first offering. They're waiting for their pitch. Kiewit, that's the first one that wasn't really close. A slider that he tried getting to paint the back door, but that one just did not get a grip at all and was well outside. 2-0 count in Cook, who already has a single and an RBI in this ball game. Looking for more here. 1-0 offering, is that fly ball into right center field. Carrying, and that ball will one hop off the wall. Runners are racing each other around third. One run is in. The second is quickly following right behind him. And a 2-run base clearing double for Caden Cook to drive in his second and third RBIs of the ball game.
A hat trick of RBIs for Cook. A double that easily could have been a triple. A nice piece of hitting here, and it's been all Clinton who responds to those Bees runs. And say I'll just casually put up 2 more here with little effort.
Timmons almost lapped Stark there, right there, which would have resulted in both of them being out. So Timmons is just telling his leadoff guy and Stark, get going, get moving. I want to score too. And thankfully for them, that ball was hit so hard and far into a gap that both of them were going to score with ease, and that brings out the pitching coach, analytics coach, and Tyler Richards.
Yeah, not sure what you really can say here.
Apparently some rental keys to a 2017 Ford Explorer Black have been turned in.
Whenever the announcer and Rob talks, you definitely want to listen, so that's what will cut us off here. Hopefully someone's able to find their rental keys, but not sure necessarily what you say for T. Rich here, Sam. Just trying to calm down your pitcher a little bit maybe and get everything situated. Already an 8-1 game, and now you start to look, Sam. Run rule is 10 or more after 7, and Clinton's quickly knocking on the door of that.
So that run rule was in effect the last time we played them here at Community Field. Of course, that one was only an exhibition, but this is a Clinton team that has seemingly owned this Burlington Bee offense all season long, and no signs of stopping. And it's a little home-and-home series between these two, so a Burlington Bee team that's heading to Clinton tomorrow, not having won a road game all year, it's a pretty tough spot for this Bee team to be in, and if you were going to take one against this Clinton team, this was probably the one to do it. And right now you're trailing by a wide margin.
Yes, you are. It's going to take some magic here. Now, a quick strike fired back here from Kiewit, just trying to reset. But score 8-1, like you said, this is a tough situation Burlington to be in.
Don't know if we'll be seeing another 9-run comeback tonight. This Burlington B offense has been looking a little lackluster, but we'll see if they can pick it up in the later innings and get to that Lumber King bullpen. Lumber King bullpen has been pretty solid all year, but we'll see if the Bees can force some rare struggles from the Lumber King's pen. No movement right now, but there was some movement last inning, so I'm sure the arm they have ready to go is just sitting in the dugout waiting for his opportunity to pitch. Kiewit still struggling to find the zone. 3-1 count here on Rouet, who already has a home run in this ball game and has reached base in every at-bat. Pair of extra base hits, double in his last at-bat that also drove in a run. So 2 RBIs for Rouet on the day. He walked and later scored back in the first inning. 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Not a bad day for Rouet at the office. The Baylor Bear. Now on a 2-2 count here, Kiewit just misses low, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, Kiewit fired back-to-back strikes after T-Rich came out and talked to him. First ball here, and now a big payoff for him, one that could potentially set the tone for the rest of this game.
That already being an 8-1 ball game, you need to leave the damage where it is, where it's at. Kiewit looking to do so here. Payoff pitch upcoming. Low, and it's ball 4, and looks like Reese Moore just trying to settle down his young arm a little bit. Just tell him you're good. Just focus on the next batter. Second walk for Rouet on the day. He later ended up scoring, and that was back in the first inning, so we'll see if that comes into fruition again.
So Coach Soley on the top step of the dugout, but still has not made any motion out here, so it's going to be Kiewit's battle to win here. Already given up 8 runs as a pitching staff here for the Burlington Bees, and a very tough day for the Arms.
Brings up Clay Jacob for the 4th time in this ball game. Has reached twice. Only one of them has come by via way of the hit. A single he later scored on his own with some very, very close base running, going from first to third, and then really close sac fly on the arm from Brago. Just was able to get in there. He grounds one. It might be his second infield hit of the game, and it is. And that ball is sailed by Kiewit, so I think it's going to go as a hit as an error. That's going to score 1. The second run is coming around third and heading for the plate, and Rouet, and he scores. Jacobs gets all the way to third on the error, and now that 10-run mercy rule is just 1 run away from being in effect with nobody out, and that run standing 90 feet away in the Ball State Cardinal and Clay Jacobs.
Clay Jacobs has looked like a mastermind today. So many different kinds of hits and back-to-back infield singles, and somehow he's all the way on third with 2 more runs on the board. It's a 10-1 game here in Clinton, dancing on Burlington currently.
Clay Jacobs ended up scoring on that base hit, as we mentioned. Flew out in his last at-bat in the 4th, but that'll be the day for Kiewit. A struggle in his second inning of work after putting up a 0 last inning. Allowed 4 runs. They may go unearned, however, due to his own throwing error. 2 of them at least will go unearned. But that'll be the day for Kiewit. A solid first inning, but striking extended a little too long. Gave up 4 runs, and now Clinton has broken the gates wide open. 10-1 on 10 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors for the Lumber Kings. 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error for the Bees. Stay tuned for the rest of this ballgame. The new arm for the Bees coming up next. Welcome back to Community Field here in Iowa. And the second Morton College Panther on the mound we'll see for the Burlington Bees. This one is Jimmy McCarthy. So we saw the left-hander in Joe Evans coming in for the starter in Morrow. But now it's Jimmy McCarthy, who is the fourth pitcher this Bees team will see here tonight. And although McCarthy has not had the best start to his Bee season, looking for some big outs here, a 22.5 ERA, 5 runs, all of them have been earned. Has 4 walks and 2 strikeouts, so the walks have been the issue for McCarthy. So if he can find the plate, he has proven to be a really effective arm. Out of Chicago, Illinois, went to St. Patrick's High School in the city. First pitch there is a ball from McCarthy.
Carson Grout, another Clinton Lumber King multiple who have multiple RBIs and an opportunity for easily more here. So he had 2 in the first inning, a single in the second, and now looking to strike another run home.
2-0 count already on the left-hander in Grout. McCarthy looking to leave the damage where it is. Takes another pitch, and it's 3-0. So we mentioned the control issues for McCarthy have seemingly been his Achilles heel early on in the season for the Bees, but see if he can find his footing back here. 3-0 pitch. And that's ball 4. So usually in these lower leverage outings, you're looking for guys to just find their footing and find that control that they have been missing all year. And unfortunately for McCarthy, at least on that first batter, was not able to do so. We'll see how he bounces back here with another left-hander in Hackett. So an interesting note here. So both Morton College pitchers pitched yesterday, and a former Bee and former teammate of theirs, Jeremy Fox, who played here back in 2023, was at the ball game last night supporting his Panthers and former Bee teammates. Runner takes off for second, and I mean, it's 10-1. I don't know if I really love the call to send the runner there, but takes the bag nonetheless, and Grout has a stolen base, so line keeps moving for the Lumber Kings.
Casey Soley, I don't think he agreed with the call necessarily because he looked at the umpire and not the Clinton dugout on his way out. Trying to find confirmation there, will not get it. Now it's second and third here in the 10-1 game.
And these are coaches who coach together, so obviously you don't want any bad blood between guys who are going to be working on the same staff back in the spring season. I'm sure there's no love lost in a game like this, and it's obviously if you don't want that to happen, then make sure it doesn't. And unfortunately for the Bees, they have not been able to do that all night long. 0-2 count here to James Hackett. McCarthy doing a good job of finding the strike zone after the leadoff walk. First ball there, and it wasn't really competitive, and it's 1-2.
Trying to lock back in after that 4-pitch walk here, like you said. Reset, but still a long 3 outs to get for him with runners on second and third.
The 1-2 offering coming from McCarthy. His pitch is grounded foul, so like I mentioned, Jeremy Fox, the former Bee, was there to see his Panther teammates as McCarthy did not see the throw from the umpire, laughs it off, and he's just going to go grab that ball that's sitting on the mound. But it's great to see former Bees who, although Fox is not playing with the Bees this year, is coming out to support his Morton College teammates, and Jeremy Fox is just one of the best guys the Bees have had personality-wise, and former Bee pitcher last year, and guy I actually had the privilege of playing with in high school at Riverside Brickfield. 1-2 offering coming from McCarthy, his Panther teammate, and it's 2-2. So we see how he continues to attack the right fielder after getting into an 0-2 advantage count here. The count is now quickly evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with both pitches missing on the outside portion of the plate. See if McCarthy attacks inside here, goes outside again, and it's the third straight miss on the outside part of the plate, so it's 3-2. So if you're McCarthy, are you just aiming for the middle of the plate and just hoping it clips a corner, or what are you looking for here?
I think at this point you maybe just try to pick a spot and that's well within the strike zone and hope for the best here, Sam.
A full count offering to Hackett. Pitch, swing, and a miss. McCarthy gets a strikeout. Little Bayou fastball from the St. Patrick, former Shamrock, now turned Morton College Panther. And huge strikeout for out number 1 there, and leaving that runner right where he is at third base and second.
3 strikeouts today from James Hackett, 0 for 4, and one of the rare hitters from Clinton really has not dominated like you would expect, and that'll bring up one who's having a good day here in Thien with a double and an RBI.
Strikeout number 3 for McCarthy on the year. Opponents are only hitting 286 off of him coming into the ball game, so he's just strung into some bad luck and walking batters, and when he walks those batters, unfortunately the opposition has been taking advantage of those free base runners. Now in a jam here, looking to get his pitcher and Kiewit out of it. High pitch, close but called for a ball. So that runner on third base, if he ends up scoring in Clay Jacobs, that run will be ended up charged to Eric Kiewit. But that runner standing on second base and anyone after will be the responsibility of Jimmy McCarthy. 1-1 offering coming from McCarthy. Another fastball that will be fouled away. It's 1 and 2. So Thien's a guy who doubled in his last at bat, flew out in his previous 2 at bats. So he's putting some good swings on the ball all day, and it was only until his 3rd at bat where he finally got the ball to fall.
Agree with you. Like we said, now this time he's hugging that left side, Sam, which makes me concerned for a ball that could potentially be hit hard to the left, but not an advantage count to do so.
Another guy who's crouched really far inside the plate. He might be more inside than Donlin is on the plate, and see how that approach is for the catcher. I mean, typically you see catchers, they don't like when guys crowd their pitcher's plate, and Thien just trying to get in the pitcher's head by being a catcher that is right in on the plate. So battle of guys who wear the number 39. We'll see who the winner is. McCarthy's 1-2 offering. It's flied into right field. Reed is racing on it and will make the catch for out number 2. Runners will both tag, and Jacobs will make it a 10-run ball game. Clinton leads 11-1.
Second baseman number 3, Jesse Contreras.
With 1 out here, it was Sark who led it off and brings up Contreras. The Lumber Kings are easily threatening to go through the order, Sam.
Last guy standing in the way of them batting around is Jesse Contreras, and almost batted around in the first inning as well. They scored 3 there, and they've scored 5 here in the 6th inning to really jump on top of this Bees team. So after the Bees got a run and looked like they were maybe starting to get back into this ball game, Clinton answers right away with saying, all right, here's 5. Go get this back. And we'll see how the Bees offense is able to respond. But right now the left-hander in Contreras is looking for a big swing at the at-bat. RBI chance for him with the runner standing on third. That one's lined down the left field line and foul. So Contreras, a guy who's also not hitting anything coming in this ball game, still looking for his first Clinton Lumber King hit. Only had 3 at-bats coming in this ball game, though, so he's 0 for 6 at least to start his Lumber King career. Has a pair of walks, though. Contreras also has 6 strikeouts, so it's been a struggle for him to, he only has 3 strikeouts, so it's been a struggle for him to just put bat to ball, and half those at-bats have wound up in a strikeout. And chance for his 2nd strikeout here is full count, and see what McCarthy deals. Full count offering with 2 outs coming from Jimmy McCarthy. The 3-2. Fastball on the inside and called for strike 3. So a beautiful pitch there from Jimmy McCarthy to leave the damage at 1 run from him coming in. 5 runs in the inning for the Lumber Kings, though. None of them will be charged to Jimmy McCarthy, and the Bees have a lot of work to do. 11-1, bottom 6.
pitching change here for Clinton. It's Hayden Vickroy who enters this game and caps off what was an unbelievable start for Brendan Martin. 1 run given up, 4 hits, and 5 shutout innings before giving up a run in the 6th. So can't ask for much more in his first official start. And Vickroy potentially only to have to get 6 outs here with Clinton in run rule territory. Christian Dunn trying to change that as he pops the ball up in the air to right field. Hackett makes the run and the sliding catch. So Hackett with a really nice sequence in right. A slide, near somersault, but comes up with the ball for the first out of the inning. Nice play from Hackett out and right.
So Vickroy, who has one of the better beards, at least I've seen so far in the Prospect League, in his last outing pitched insanely well as you could pitch 4 innings, and he was perfect. This came back against the Bees on June 9, so he knows how to pitch against the Bees and do it well. Of course, that came back in the exhibition, and we'll see how he does here now in regular game action.
Pitched well in the exhibition for the North Liberty, Iowa native. Attended Spoon River College this season. So far, his official stats have him rung up for 3 earned runs in 1 game played and 2 innings pitched. So the advantage of having such a big lead is low-pressure situations. As this one grounded to second by the new Jackson Rooker, and that'll be out here for the second out of the inning. So Rooker replaced Agnew in the last inning and then grounds into the infield out to make 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th.
Good contact there from Rooker, but hit it right at the second baseman and a little bit too hard, and that'll be out number 2.
So Luke Braga 0 for 2 comes up to the plate. Rooker now 0 for 1 replaced Agnew, who struck out 2 times, and Braga comes up here with 2 outs. Only 4 hits here from the Bees, and Vickroy making quick work. Are the trailing or already with a 10-run lead. So as I was saying, the advantage of having such a big lead is being able to put some new pitchers in some low-pressure situations, and Vickroy making the rewards of that after a tough first outing for him where he gave up multiple runs and not a ton of innings of work. 0-1 here on Braga. He flew out in a good at-bat in his last time up in the 5th inning. The Bees stranded 3 on base, and the situation got even worse as they proceeded to give up 5 runs on just 3 hits.
Only 4 hits here tonight for the Bees and what has been a lack of an offensive showing, to say the least.
As Braga grounding this one to short, fielded by Cook. The step, the throw, and that'll be in time. Vickroy comes across and goes a 1-2-3. A really nice sliding catch out in right field from Hackett will send us through 6 innings here in Burlington. 11-1 the score as we head to the 7th. Burlington on the doorstep of being run-rolled. We'll see if they can keep it 10 runs when we return. So our 6th inning shenanigans day, very relevant to dads in terms of cornhole. First of all, Sam, for you growing up in the Midwest, are you a cornhole guy?
Huge, absolutely huge. And I'm not one to brag, but I will say I probably was the best out of my friends. And I mean, I got to give a shout out to my dad. I mean, he had me started on cornhole probably kindergarten, 1st grade, and ever since then I've just been getting the bag right in the hole and been one of the better players around my town, at least I'd like to say so.
So a little kid taking Jacob Suits to school there in cornhole. May have had some help from Suits, but with growing up in the Midwest, that kid likely to be onto a maybe future in cornhole. Good confidence booster for him as McCarthy up 0-1 here. 11-1 baseball game here. Cornhole, fun for that much, but this game not been as much fun for the Burlington Bees, who trailed by 10, got run-ruled in their exhibition against Clinton on Sunday. Granted, they did have position players pitch in that game, so not sure how much you can count that in terms of validity, but this loss very valid as Clinton just owning Burlington's number this season, and a 1-1 count here on the leadoff hitter in Stark. Led off that rally in the last where 5 runs were scored on only 3 hits. Count 1-2 for him, looking to be retired for the first time today is McCarthy.
Huge outing here for McCarthy, and if he can get out of this inning with another 0, it'd be a huge confidence boost for him and probably a chance for him to maybe see some more innings and some higher leverage situations.
Brendan Martin, the start today, 5 innings pitched with 1 earned run and 4 hits, Sam. A phenomenal showing from him, and that's really propelled this offense, which put up 11. And they're really firing on all fronts, Sam. While they do have the 2 errors, a really nice catch there from Hackett out and right. Excuse me, in a game that's been a huge confidence booster for them. 3-2 count on the leadoff hitter in Stark, who's putting together a phenomenal day here. Already reached all 4 times. The payoff, swing and a miss. Strike 3 from McCarthy, who blows it by Stark there. Really nice pitch, and out for the first time today on a nice K for McCarthy.
So McCarthy only had 2 strikeouts coming in the ball game, and he's already surpassed that total with 3 in this ball game in the first 4 batters he's faced. It's been immensely impressive for McCarthy, who, after walking the first guy he faced, has gotten the next 4 guys out relatively easily.
Next is Blake Timmons, who was reached twice by a single and hit by pitch, struck out his first time, and McCarthy invigorating some energy into one of our biggest crowds at Community Field this season. So a good turnout for the fathers, Sam, and you could see them all over the bleachers and seats here at Community Field. Another pitch on the outside from McCarthy. Really throwing with a lot of aggression here, and like you said, trying to maybe display to his coaching staff that he could be one of those relievers. And for the Bees, who are now down Bobby Helt, in air quotes, who goes to a starting spot, they're really going to need a guy to try to step up and get big innings out of the bullpen. It was previously a combo of Evans and Helt, and now looking for a second guy to step up, and McCarthy trying to throw his hat in the ring.
And McCarthy's been doing a good job against some really tough bats, now facing the top of this Clinton Lumber King lineup, and does not seem to be rattled by the top of the order.
The 1-2 here on Timmons. Pitch has some pitches to waste, so he tries to get him to swing on a fastball on the outside, but quickly dotted 2-2 here for McCarthy. His favorite food is soda bread. Looking to bubble this ball past Timmons. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 here from McCarthy. Back-to-back Ks for him, and he's already added quite a extension to his strikeout total on the year.
Doubled his previous season total. The last 2 guys he's gotten swinging, 3 of his 4 strikeouts have been swinging for McCarthy.
So Cook brought home both Stark and Timmons in the last inning on a double RBI double. Now comes up here after 2 strikeouts before him. First pitch he sees on the inside, and that'll be rung up for a strike. Boy, is McCarthy dealing here.
Now, Liam, I know you're still getting adequate with the Midwest, so how long do you think it would take you to really just start getting comfortable in a game of cornhole and you feel like you would dominate?
Not long. I will be completely honest with you. It's the 0-1. So I'm not the most coordinated person. However, cornhole, I have a lot of good stories with cornhole. My graduation party for high school, we just played cornhole. That was all we did. I'm not joking. You can ask my friends and my family. It's all we did was play cornhole. Super fun experience for me. So it's a sport that I know it's typically associated with the Midwest, but it's crept its way into Plattsburgh. My stepdad and I built cornhole boards a couple of years ago during the pandemic. And since then, we've had a lot of fun on those boards. Obviously, with me just graduating high school and being in college, you get a lot of the game at a different yard events. Swing and a miss here to make it 2-2 for McCarthy.
Love that story. So what you're saying is that you can give me a run for my money.
I truly do believe I can give you a run for your money, believe it or not. Can you spin the bags?
Yeah, I can definitely spin the bag.
That's what you like to
get
hear.
a little spin on it.
Yeah.
Should run a little duos between me and my dad, between you and your dad.
2-2 and a swing and a miss here from McCarthy. Speaking of cornhole, striking out the side, and McCarthy throws it through the hole with an excellent inning here. The Bees are going to need a lot more, trailing by 10, but McCarthy, a bright spot here as he strikes out the side and the top of the order, heading to the bottom of the 7th.
Same arm out for the Lumber Kings in Vicroy. Remember, we got these same two teams tomorrow, and it's going to be a 2 o'clock matinee, so a little good thing that this ball game may wrap up early because both teams are going to need to get their rest for an early ball game tomorrow, and one that the Bees, if they want any sort of chance to get back into this division race, one they absolutely have to take with how this ball game's gone so far.
And what they're benefiting from is that Springfield is currently trailing in their game, so that means that third place is likely secure if they lose this game and Springfield registers the L. So like you said, a reset for them tomorrow. Obviously a new coaching staff in air quotes for them today. And after that big game yesterday with big pitching, the pitching not as clutch today, and the bats slow here in a game that nothing really felt like it was clicking.
Of course, you want to beat the teams that are ahead of you, and they were able to do that last night against Illinois Valley in a really tough stretch for this team, playing a really good Clinton team and a really good Illinois Valley team. They lost the first two against Clinton and lost the first one against Illinois Valley, then won one against Illinois Valley. So you would have rather a split in this scenario, as that ball is driven into left center field. That ball's carrying, and will bounce off the wall. A little two-hopper from Bittner, his second double of the game, but he's not stopping there. He's going to go for the triple, and he is safe. Carson Bittner, who had not had a B hit up to tonight, was 0 for 15, and here in this situation gets a double and now a triple, and although this game's in the 7th inning, he's still technically halfway to the cycle.
Nice work here from Bittner. Like you said, entered today without a hit, and a really nice piece of hitting here. Drove that one to a deeper part of the park in left center field to, for those of you watching, the Gwen Wilson ad out there, the one black ad in left center field. So a well-driven ball, and now the Bees could stay in this game if they're able to drive him home.
Toughest leg of the cycle to get, and now the run that will extend this ball game is just standing 90 feet away, and you know the Bees just want to keep this going another inning.
Sam, Bittner is the only Bee, correct me if I'm wrong, with an extra base hit today. All the other 3 hits of their 5 have all been singles.
And they've all been infield singles as well. So Carson Bittner is the only guy who's had a ball leave the infield that has resulted in a hit, and he's done it twice.
So the Phoenix, Arizona native trying to drive it all the way back to Phoenix, and done a good job in the batter's box today.
Jackson Reed in his second at bat here. Came in for the injured Jace Figueroa. Had a base hit on a bunt and his first time through. That bunt single came back in the first inning. It's taken a couple straight pitches, and being ahead 2-0, it's now 2-2.
So Alton currently still up 5-3 on Thrillville. What a game that's going on down in Alton currently right now. One of the bigger games of the day, and O'Fallon just blowing out Jackson 15-1 now.
Good swing of the bat there from Reed, and he's staying alive. So we heard the VGs for the second time this ball game, and we'll see if Reed can stay alive here and try and put a ball in play that'll keep the Bees alive at least for another inning. He strikes out, so nice Bayou fastball there from Vicroy, and the guy who's been perfect against the Bees all year allowed his first hit or base runner against the Bee, and that was the Bittner triple, but bounces back very nicely with the top of the order here, gets a strikeout in Reed, and now faces Landon Akers in a righty-righty matchup.
I wonder if Joe Evans gets sick of being the messenger. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time I've seen him full sprint over to the bullpen to try to deliver a message, and he's got to get arms up here for the Bees, who are 90 feet away from needing another pitcher to go out there, whether it's McCarthy or someone up in the bullpen, and Evans had to sprint out there and deliver the message.
So McCarthy's day is likely done if this game continues. And obviously no bullpen phone here, so got to do it the old-fashioned way and communicate it word of mouth.
I mean, it's a good test of your, it's not a 40. It's probably not a 60 either. That's quite a ways there from the dugout to the bullpen, Sam. So you get to be able to test it off as Evans booked it for the bullpen just a few pitches ago.
We've seen plenty of PFPs from Evans, so having to race off the mound and get to first base, we have to see him do that many times before, and see if he has to do it again. Two-one count here. Off-speed pitch on the front door to Akers, and it was a pitch of beauty. Slider from Vicroy to get a strike two, so after falling behind 2 on the last batter in Reed, he got the strikeout. Now on a 2-2 count once again here to Akers and looking for another strikeout.
Vicroy's just fearlessly striking balls in.
As that ball's grounded to second, that'll score the run in Bittner, and this game will be extended another inning, but that's out number 2.
By Landon Akers. Burlington, catcher number 21, Reese Moore.
So as mentioned, the second RBI on the ball game for Landon Acres has both of them for the Bees. This one will be, I guess you can put it down as a fielder's choice, as he grounds out to second base for out number 2.
Yeah, it's still an RBI either way. Bittner with both runs on the game, and then it's Akers with both RBI. So those are the only two guys who have really done anything offensively for the Bees today, Sam.
Now the catcher, and Reese Moore, standing at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today, has an infield single that went up the middle, hit it well, just off the glove of a Clinton Lumber King infielder. And fortunately for him, just rolled right away from him and resulted in a knock. It's 1-0 count to Moore. Make that 2-0. Count here. Excuse me. Sorry, 1-0, 2-0, and that'll make it 3-0. So Moore has taken the first 3 pitches. All of them called for balls, and Vickery, who has not walked a batter against the Bees all year, has 2 walks all season, and in danger of walking his 3rd right here and walking his first B in almost 6 innings of work. The ball's lined by Reese Moore over the shortstop's head for a base hit. That's going to find a gap. He's going to test the arm of the left fielder, Jacobs, and get into second with a double. So another extra base hit for the Bees, their 3rd of the ball game, their 2nd double. This one is the first one not to come off the bat of Carson Bittner, and that'll bring up Merrick Matthews, another Iowa Hawkeye, trying to go back-to-back in Iowa Hawkeye knocks with 2 outs.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there from Reese Moore as he stays hot here with a bit of a sneaky day for him, in my opinion. 2 for 4, the double and a single, Sam.
Reese Moore, who's consistently just put up numbers with the Bees. Another multi-hit game for him. What has been his 5th early on here, and only his 7th game coming into tonight for the Bees. Reese Moore has been a huge addition for this Bees lineup. The other has been Jace Figueroa. They've made a huge impact at the top of that lineup. Unfortunately, it has been the bottom half of their lineup that has been letting them down today. So Merrick Matthews, who's reached twice but has yet to record a hit, a walk and a hit by pitch. He flew out to left field, and what was a really nice swing of the bat just right at the left fielder and Jacobs was able to make a good read on it for the out. Now a 1-1 here on the Hawkeye in Matthews. Takes an inside pitch, a late strike call there from Tidewell. Still a strike nonetheless, and Matthews has to be up there protecting on 1-2.
And what's impressive to me, Sam, is it's so important, in my opinion, not to get run ruled, because that's such a devastating blow. Even to hang on here and get to play maybe the full 9 innings, I think that's a big morale boost for this Bees team, which is in a bit of a bad spot after the win yesterday.
Not only that, but you have to force the Lumber Kings to likely have to use another arm, and the more arms you see tonight, it puts you in a better spot for tomorrow's ball game. So I think a foul ball might have just disappeared into our little what's that area we have right below us? The
first set of bleachers? The pit?
The pit, yes. Looks like we had a ball just disappear right into there. Fans were chasing the souvenir, and the ball just went down into the ground. Just kept going down.
See it today. Maybe another time.
Now it's a full count. 3-2. Matthews is working a really solid at bat here, as he has all day. Reached twice by the free pass yesterday, has done it twice again today. Still looking for his first knock of the ball game, though. On base percentage now sitting over 400. Takes a pitch and low, called for a ball. So that's ball 4, his 2nd walk of the ball game and his 3rd free pass. So have 2 guys on for the Bees and 2 outs, and chance to cut into this deficit just a little bit less with the RBI leader in Cooper Donlin.
And this is the first time, Sam, that since the first inning, that really, in my opinion, and I guess that inning where the Bees did load the bases back in the 5th, where they've really gotten to a pitcher here and been able to form this mini rally here, and they're going to need much more with 2 outs and trailing by 9.
Kind of need a huge 2-out rally to get back into this ball game here, chasing 7 outs. Donlin could be big that to do, and he skies one right center field, carrying, and that ball is off the wall, off the White Wings outsiders. Kind of hard to see, but Donlin hustling for third for the second B triple of the inning. A huge hit from Cooper Donlin. Plates 2, clears the bases, and another triple makes it 11-4.
Burlington entered this game with 1 triple on the season. Thanks Carson Bittner. Thanks Cooper Donlin. It's 11-4, and the Bees have more than twice the amount of triples in this inning, and they enter with this season.
It's incredible how baseball works. I mean, you can't hit for seemingly the first 6 innings of the ball game, and your back's up against the wall. Extend the ball game, not just for another inning, but making this a lot more reasonable with another run standing at third base.
So Dunn comes up to the plate. Been a bit of a tough day for him, 0-for-3 with 2 flyouts here and there, and going to need some of that contact potentially.
Dunn is hitting just a tad under 300, and he's gotten a hit in every ball game he's played in so far, and at risk of losing that streak here tonight. Second time a check swing has not gone to Dunn's benefit, where he's looked a little frazzled by the call. This one was not on 3 strikes, however, so he has another chance to make up for that check swing, and facing a tough arm here in Vicroy. It's perfect against the Bees heading to the 9th. Has allowed 3 runs here. Is Dunn grounds from the short. Going to be a tough play, but fires it for out number 3. So 3 runs on the board for the Bees, but they leave another runner at third, and it's 11-4 heading top 8.
It has been absolute mayhem between the inning shenanigans and on-field promotions here in the last couple days at Community Field. The scooter race that quickly turned violent after some contact. And yesterday in the chicken and lips race, a promotion they do every game, we actually had a fan pull their hamstrings. We did get word today the fan is okay. Just a little bit of ice and Advil and a day in bed for him, and he'll be all right. But it's McCarthy sent out for his 3rd inning of work here after a huge striking out of the side in the last inning. And we'll see what he could do against 4, 5, 6. It's R.J. Rouet, who had that home run and then RBI double, and a really, really nice day for him.
And I'm just glad everyone can just laugh about that scary incident that happened last night. But maybe just a word of advice to those coming out to Community Field. If you're over 40 years old, maybe do not compete in the inning shenanigans, because there is apparently a pretty high possibility for you to get injured.
And with its being Father's Day weekend, we've seen a couple fathers participate, and both of which have taken pretty severe beatings between last night's pulling of a hamstring and then the contact we just saw in the scooter race between innings. Everyone looks to be okay, and on to the next year is a fun laugh and way to celebrate some of the fathers here in a pretty packed house at Community Field. The play on the field didn't really get the crowd going till the last inning, the striking out of the side by McCarthy, and then the 2 triples, double, single, and RBI galore in the last inning to make it 11-4 as the Bees finally strike with their backs against the wall. Now a 3-1 count here, McCarthy falling behind our 2-1 count after a really dominant performance in his last inning, and now we'll go to work here with our Rouet.
At 5-6 right now is looking like all the difference.
And a pitch on the outside will work the walk here. So Rouet draws the walk. Second McCarthy has thrown since his first batter. And that'll bring up Carson Grout here. Nobody up in the Bees bullpen currently. So if they, likely it's going to be McCarthy's situation to get out of here with the Bees trailing by 7 runs.
How about this day for R.J. Rouet? He's 2 for 2, but he's reached base in all 5 of his at-bats and has 3 walks as well. And he has scored in 3 of those 4 at-bats as well. So really productive day from Rouet here today.
I'm not a betting guy, but I would imagine he'd be favored to score here with nobody out and him on first. That'll bring up Clay Jacobs here. Your same school as you, as he comes up here on another good day for him. 2 singles, an RBI, and a walk.
Really looking forward to seeing what Clay Jacobs can do next year in his 5th year season at Ball State University. I'm really looking forward to calling him as well for another year.
As this one swung on, it'll be popped up on the left side. Braga will battle the lights here as he makes the catch in somewhat shallow left field and frees the runner on first for the first out of the 8th inning.
Only the second time Jacobs has been retired. Pair of base hits and a walk for Jacobs and a couple runs for him as well. So another great day for another Clinton Lumber King bat, and will likely be the last at-bat for the Ball State Cardinal here today. Had a good opportunity to talk with Jacobs before the game, though, and he's loving his role here in Clinton, playing every other day, and really getting to see all the experienced bats and play with some really, really good experienced teammates at the Power 5 level.
As this pitch swung on, it'll be fouled up the left side for the first strike here for McCarthy. So after his first full inning of work to strike outside, now experiencing a bit of adversity for the first time today after the Bees put 3 on the board to make it 11-4.
One of the biggest things Clay Jacobs told me as that ball's fouled off, one of the biggest things he told me was not about his own performance, but about the guy standing at the plate in Carson Grout. He's going to be an incoming freshman at the University of Iowa this summer, and he just told me that for a kid that young, not playing his senior year of high school, he's just so impressive and has so much raw power, and he's going to be a thrill to watch the next 4 years for the Hawkeyes.
And he gets to match against some of his teammates here as that ball lined into the bleachers on the left side. Be careful over there as the fans able to get out of the way of it and someone able to walk home with that ball. For the Bees here, you're only being out-hit by 5, which is pretty unbelievable, all things considered. The Bees have stranded 6 runners on base between the first and the 5th inning. Now the 0-2, McCarthy up. This will draw a swing to the right side. Double play won't be in question, but they'll get the out at first here as Akers able to convert over to Matthews.
So McCarthy doing what he did in the 6th inning. So after surrendering the leadoff walk, he's been able to get the first 2 guys out and see if he can do what he did back in the 6th inning and get the strikeout looking to end the 8th.
So Akers gets the easy out at first and brings up James Hackett. Weather-wise, can't ask for much more of a beautiful night here for not even summer yet in Burlington, quickly approaching summer within this week. So I guess you can't really call it summer baseball yet, but it feels like summer baseball here with high 70s and low 80s. Sam, it doesn't ever get this warm in Plattsburgh till July, so it's pretty exciting for me to see 8s and 9s on the front part of the forecast.
It's rare for you to see 9s ever.
100% correct. I know my family have been tuning into this game, and I know they'll be very quick to testify against that. That very rare to see the 90s. I mean, it was 40 degrees in Plattsburgh this week, so.
Gross. I'm sorry, dude.
You're Canada. Now the 1-1 here on Hackett.
Sure you're not more happy to be in the Midwest than right now.
Couldn't agree with you more. I've always been a warm weather guy, which is a bit surprising for someone who grew up in such a cold area, but the count 1-2 here on Hackett.
How do you survive your winters? I'm just curious, dude.
Gotta get good at snow blowing and snow plowing.
It makes you a lot stronger, builds a lot of upper body strength.
You'd be surprised. It's not too hard to run either of those equipment, as McCarthy thought he got the strike 3 pitch there and draws a bit of a interesting reaction, kind of leaning over and staring down the umpire. So 11-4 the score here. Clinton was 2 outs away from making this a run rule performance, but the Bees scored 1, and now we're trying to chip away, and McCarthy tried to keep it a 7-run game. The pitch swung on, lined up the left side, and that'll just be foul to the signal there of Rooker on the left side.
Great play there out by the Burlington Bees bullpen to charge that ball and make the play before it got near the bullpen bench.
So the bullpen at least having some fun, trying to keep the energy high, and a very filled-out crowd here at Community Field. The 2-2, McCarthy deals a pitch on the outside. He'll make it 3-2. So for McCarthy, well, it seems a bit lighthearted between the Bees dugout and the Bees bullpen. He's very much locked in here. It seems a bit frustrated he didn't get that strike 3 call 2 pitches ago, and now we'll see what he can deal with in the 3-2. I know we might get his best here. Full count pitch. McCarthy. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. McCarthy taking names and striking out batters like there's no tomorrow. 6 strikeouts and 2 innings, over 2 innings of work here for McCarthy, and strands a runner on second. To the bottom of the 8th we go here in Burlington. And a new pitcher here, Vickroy's day over after giving up the most runs of any Lumber King in this game. It's number 8, Cade Turner, taking over the Minnesota State University D2 College and Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. Freshman comes in here, also an Iowa native. So far for the Lumber Kings, has appeared in 3 appearances with a 1-0 record with 3.1 innings of work, 1 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts for him. Still the decision in Brendan Martin, as it'll be 1-2-3 due up as Reed starts it up, replacing Figueroa. And now his 3rd at-bat has singled and struck out. Welcome to the bottom of the 8th here. Liam Sample joined alongside Sam Egan. For those of you still hanging on, thanks for joining us here on a really nice night for baseball in Burlington. As a score still 11-4.
Bees just scored 3 runs last inning, are looking to cut this deficit a little more here and make this a bit of a respectable contest. Or, I mean, they came back from 10-1 in Illinois Valley in just a few short innings the other day, and this offense has proven that if they get going and they get a little rally going, the hits and the base runners just keep coming and coming. So see if the Bees can have another huge inning here that's just capped off by just keeping the line moving.
So Thiem, the catcher, comes in to check on his pitcher. I'm not sure if they're just trying to get signs together, would be my guess, Sam, to take the break. Thiem, a young catcher, being a sophomore, and then this pitcher and Turner being a freshman. 3rd pitcher of the day, Martin, obviously the master class start. Vickroy came in, gave up the 3 runs and 4 hits with a walk.
It's not to mention both these guys, I mean, they play at different colleges, and coming into the season, they only had about a week to get used to each other, get a feel with each other, practice with each other. So obviously it takes some adjustments to get used to pitch calling and understand each pitcher's different type of pitch arsenal.
That's the fun here of summer ball, is playing with teammates you would otherwise never seen. As the 0-2 count. This one dealt, and that'll be called for a strike three. So a three-pitch strikeout to open up the day as Reed down on the K for the second time today to bring up Landon Akers. Akers had the RBI single in the last inning.
Left fielder number 15, Luke Braga.
It was actually Rooker who struck out there. My apologies, looking at the wrong part of my order. And that'll bring up Braga here, who was out his last time up on a ground out in the 6th inning.
And with all the Jacksons on this team, it could easily get confusing. Jackson Wohlers, Jackson Lindquist, Jackson Rooker, and Jackson Reed. That's 4 Jacksons, so
we always make the joke. We always make the joke here, if you were to call somebody Jack, if you didn't know a player on the team, you have like a very good statistical chance of being right, as Braga drives this one up the middle, fielded cleanly at short, and that will not be fielded in time, so it'll be an infield single here for Braga, his first time reaching in 4 at-bats. And now runner on first here, and like you said, if you have to chip away, that's one way to start. It isn't sexy, but it gets a runner on base and brings up the 9-hitter and Carson Bittner, and this is just about, strangely enough, the guy you want up in this situation with a double and a triple in this game.
9-hitter has been the hottest hitter for the Bees all day, and after the 4th infield single of the Bees all day, it doesn't matter how they do it as long as they get that run across. Doesn't have to be pretty, just as long as they get it done.
8th hit of the day for the Burlington Bees, first for Braga. First pitch, Bittner Steves will be up high in the zone to make the count 1-0. So it's almost like in golf when you see that first putt fall in, sometimes it gives you the momentum to keep going and have a better day. And I think Bittner, just seeing one hit go down since then, it's been all lights out. He's been seeing red. The second Burlington Bees triple of the year, and it's just his second hit of the season. As they're going to check this runner at Braga at first. The ball gets past, but since Braga had slid into first, he won't be able to move, and everybody just kind of stays in place besides the outfielders to come in and get that ball. So the throw to Rouet just got past him from Thien.
Huge opportunity for Bittner, who's had an extra base hit in each of his last 2 at-bats, technically halfway to the cycle, and has already the toughest leg out of the way.
As he's struck with a good pitch there on the inside of the plate. Check swing from him, but we'll make the count 2-1 here for Bittner. So he flew out his first time, and then all hits since then, and trying to keep that streak alive here in the 2-1 count. Could get a pitch.
That was an absolute sword.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another pitch on the inside will make it 2-2 here as the young pitcher in Turner working his way through here and taking down what's been the toughest out for the Bees today. 11-4 game, runner on first, 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still, and now a pitch on the inside will be rung up for a strikeout. Second strikeout here for Turner, and this time the crowd of Burlington doesn't like it.
That one caught the outside portion of the plate, and we've seen our fair share of controversial umpiring throughout the year, but I think that one might have clipped the edge of the zone here. Good call, and that's out number 2.
So first, now it is actually Jackson Reed who comes up here with this time with 2 outs. Struck out his last time up in the last inning. As the first pitch you will see will be on the inside of the plate and make the call count 1-0.
As to be batters that have gotten out and have struck out looking, so need to have the bat leave the shoulder and just try and make a play and put it in the Lumber Kings' hands.
Another pitch on the inside of the plate will be kept in by Thien. I've been impressed with his catching here so far, especially for a sophomore in college. He's done a good job keeping the ball in front of him. Very few errors behind the plate for him, and has made some mature calls like we saw at the beginning of this inning to bring it in with his pitcher and try to get some calls straight.
And you see his pitchers are very confident in what he throws down. Not too many times has he been shaken off by his catcher in Thien.
Good point from you there, Sam, as the 2-0 will go on the outside to make it 3-0 here. So now the pair will be tested here in a very hitters-friendly count for Reed.
I think you got to take here. You just need as many base runners as you can get. And
couldn't agree with you more. 4 outs to make up 7 runs. And that'll work in favor of Reed. A 4-pitch walk. Gets a runner on base here and brings up Akers, who had the RBI single his last time up. Was originally the only Bee with an RBI, even through his last at-bat. He's now up to 6 on the year.
And right now, I mean, if you weren't staring at that 5-run inning. That go-ahead run would be standing at the plate right now. Obviously, a devastating 5-run inning, and Kiewit's second inning of work has really given a nice little cushion for Clinton and has made it a massive hole that the Bees need to dig themselves out of.
So Thien and Turner still discussing here. Turner, hobbies on his bio include hunting and video games as he's trying to hunt the final out. Here with state champions as a sophomore and all-state first team as a junior, and all-state also as a senior. A Bettendorf, Iowa native for Turner. .5 Ks per 9 for him this season, but a 7 ERA, and not looking to make it any worse with Akers up at the plate. Runners on first and second. The Bees trying to start somewhere if they're looking to do something magical. First pitch fired in there from a strike, and after that long discussion, clearly paid off. It was a really nice pitch, pretty much right down the middle. Another pitch fired in on the same spot, and Turner now feeling it with his off speed as he goes there back-to-back times to make it 0-2. Now one pitch from sending us to the final inning.
Yeah, whatever Thien said must have worked, because got a guy who's now just all of a sudden being able to find the zone after a 4-pitch walk.
Thien continuing to impress here. We're just giving the shout out on off speed. That one just missed a little bit too high and make the count 1-2. So not sure if they went over the 3 off speed plan. If that was the plan, it's clearly worked here as they go to it back-to-back times.
See, Turner quadruples up on it. 1-2.
The pitch swung on, popped in the air to deep center field. This will be called by Stark and caught here for the third out. So Turner comes into this game and strands 2 runners on base. No runs, 1 hit. No errors and 2 left on base as we send us to the final inning here in Burlington. 11-4 the score as Clinton trying to extend their lead when we return. 9-game slate across the Prospect League. The Burlington Bees safe in third as Danville crushes Springfield 13-2 on the road in Springfield to win that game via run rule. Another action-packed game, one that I've been really watching here, Sam, is Thrillville and Alton. They score 6-6 through the bottom of the 8 innings there. So that's really the game to watch right now between the top team in the Prospect League and one trying to chase for their spot in Alton.
Yeah, you can say that game was thrill. Little dad joke. No?
I don't even know, like, if you worked for Thrillville or the broadcaster for them, how you'd avoid making those punts constantly. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw their name.
Now, obviously with Father's Day coming up tomorrow, what is the best dad joke you've heard? Obviously there's not a lot of good ones, so it's going to be a tough choice, but
anytime, growing up in rural New York, anytime we would drive by a hay field and my dad would just look and say, hey, that's always just a dad joke that reminds me so much of my dad. What about you?
Man, that's tough. I mean, obviously with a lot of cornfields, you see a lot more corn here. I'm trying to think. I'll come back to you on that one.
It's going to take some time to think about it.
Take some time to think about it.
Enter the memory bank. So McCarthy out here again, Sam. What a day it's been for him, and he's really impressed me at least. Just shut down these Clinton bats and try to do it one more time.
See if we can do it one more time here. For 4th inning of work, which has been extremely impressive for McCarthy, who coming into this ball game had an ERA near 20.
She's definitely done work to that ERA, and he only had thrown 2 innings before this game, Sam, so he just has doubled his inning total just in this game alone.
It's been impressive work from McCarthy. He walks the first batter of the 9th, and Thien, leadoff guys aboard once again.
Next up for the Weber Kings, second baseman number 3, Jesse Contreras.
I feel like you could have the argument of McCarthy being better out of the stretch, too, like we talked about with Joe Evans earlier in this game, because when he walks the opening batter, which he's done 3 times in this game, he's been so quick not to back down and stay tough with it.
With the leadoff guy aboard. See if he can bounce back as he has in his last 2 innings of work. First pitch called for a ball.
McCarthy has not let up any earned runs here, Sam, either, so he's continuing to deliver here, and if he's able to get out of this, that's 4 shutout innings for him.
1-0 count here. If he has that ability to find the zone as he has his previous 2 innings, when it's high and inside, it's 2-0. Big at bat coming here for Contreras. Already 11-4 ball game here. Extended hold for McCarthy. And it's 2-1.
It's a big fired back strike here from McCarthy. We always talk about pitch mix with all these pitchers, and McCarthy's done a good job mixing it up. He's got some pretty cool off-speed pitches and good bounce back there to get him back to 3-1.
Ball is fouled off once again, and it's 2-2. 2-2 count upcoming. 9-hole hitter in Contreras takes a low pitch, and that's called strike 3. Another strikeout for McCarthy, his 7th of the ball game, and this one is looking for only the 2nd time here today.
7 strikeouts is unbelievable from McCarthy. He here is just racking it up and taking down Lumber Kings, and has 2 more to get here. So correct me if I'm wrong. He's gotten 11 outs here. No, 10 outs. 7 of them have been strikeouts.
Yep. It's a guy who only had 2 strikeouts coming in tonight, too. So that ball's lined right up the middle. McCarthy just has to duck out of the way, and that's a base hit.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate one to give up there for McCarthy, because like you said, there's no really fielding play because he kind of has to just get out of the way for a ball that was going right at his head. So unfortunate, but now a double play. It's definitely a play here for McCarthy, who was looking for what's been a rare ground ball today, but it might be the end of his day with our new interim head coach, Casey, heading out there.
See if Casey Sully does indeed take the ball from McCarthy after what has been a really solid 3 1/3 innings of work. So the Morton College Panther in McCarthy did what he needed to do tonight and pitched an absolute gem of an outing to keep his team in the ball game. And right now it just looks like a meeting on the mound, and I think Sully might just let him keep going. Dugout's out ready to congratulate their teammate McCarthy on a great outing, as he finally gets the fist bump from his manager Sully. So McCarthy could not convince Sully to let him stay out there to complete the inning, but nonetheless a tremendous outing that was very impressive from Jimmy McCarthy. So that'll do it for his day as he gets greeted by his dugout. And we will be right back with the new pitcher and my favorite dad joke of all time coming up right after the break. And we welcome you back to Community Field here in Burlington, Iowa. It has been blowout here for the most part all day, and the Bees looking to just keep it where it's at 11-4. A new arm in the game for the Bees. It's Michael Shaw, another Mount Mercy product, so he gets to show off some of his stuff against the Mount Mercy staff that he is so familiar with.
Yeah, agreed with you here, and it's just fun that it's, what are the chances, Sam, that both head coaches are missing, and it's two coaches from the same team that get to replace them after two coaches from the same team are the ones that were gone today. I just can't even believe that situation.
I was looking at Mount Mercy's coaching staff earlier today. There's Division I schools that don't even have that deep of a coaching staff.
Deep.
So it's unbelievable how many guys they have on that staff, and is a true testament on why they were so successful this season with a lot of brilliant minds putting in their input. So I found my dad joke, and might be a little close to home with me being from Chicago, but why does a Chicagoan always eat quickly?
Why is that?
They never want to catch up.
There you go. Now you're thinking. I like that we both got a little local aspect into our jokes, too, which is just, that's culture right there, folks.
Now Shaw going over the signs with his catcher Moore. This is the first time Moore has caught for Shaw, so he has to still exactly figure out what Shaw has to offer.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to get that one situated here, and good leadership play from Moore to just take this time and get that all figured out as we're ready to go here with Timmons at the plate trying to extend his good day, Sam.
We'll see if he can do so. It was not a good start to his day, but the middle part of his day has treated him well. He's got on base twice, the single and a hit by pitch, but 3 strikeouts, 2 of them looking. He's just looking to avoid the golden sombrero. New Armin Shaw, the righty facing the left-hander. Timmons fires in a first pitch strike.
So Shaw, an infamous sidearm delivery, and it allows him to work pitches on the inside here for lefties. So it's creative to see his at-bats against left-handers like we see with Timmons here.
See what he can do here on 0-1. Did not see any action with the Mustangs of Mount Mercy this season, so this is a huge opportunity for him to prove to his coaches, although his head coaches aren't in attendance tonight. Good chance to prove to his pitching coach and the other coaches around him that he has the ability to get some tough bats out. 1-1 here on Timmons, the designated hitter in today's ballgame. Inside pitch, he takes 2-1. So speaking of fathers, I know you talked to Anibal Figueroa before the ballgame. He's actually here tonight, as he is most nights, watching his son play. And how cool is that here on Father's Day weekend to watch your son play for the team that you got to play for 3 years in professional baseball?
Sam, I asked him what his Father's Day plans were, and this guy, his commitment's on another level. He looked at me and goes, "What do you mean? I'm watching the Bees game on Sunday," as you saw in the pregame coverage. So he's excited to go here. He's as big of a Burlington Bees fan, I'm sure. Passion extends from being a player, but also extends from a son he's very proud of.
Both runners on the move on 3-1 from Shaw, and it'll be a full count. If he gets a strikeout here, that'll be 4 in the golden sombrero for Timmons, which is a little achievement for this Bees pitching staff considering how well of a hitter Timmons has been all season long. Hitting .395 coming into the night and only had 5 strikeouts coming into this evening, so he might match that total here or come close to it here if he strikes out here. Payoff pitch, both runners on the move, and it's outside for ball 4. Bases are now loaded.
So what felt like the Burlington Bees pitchers were bouncing back. It's become a bit of a mess here. Walk, strikeout, single, walk, and puts Scholl in a tough situation against Cook, who, when you look at the top of this lineup, it's just everybody's had a big hit, and Cook had his back in the 6th inning with a double RBI double, also an RBI single in the first inning, excuse me.
Cougar Cook, who's not seen too much action with the Lumber Kings coming into this ball game, but he's made the most of his opportunities here tonight. Pair of strikeouts, but other than that, has a pair of hits as well. One of them was an extra base hit, so all in all, a pretty impressive night. I mean, if you're going 2 for 4, you're sitting at 500 on the night for a baseball team, you're doing really well.
You have 3 RBIs too, Sam.
One is just off the outside from Shaw, and it's 1-1.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's the goal of hitting, is drive in as many runs as you can, and he's got 3 of the 11 runs just on his own bat today, so an impressive day for him with the twig.
See what Cook can do here on the 1-1. Inside pitch, and it's called for a strike. 1-2.
You almost prefer the ground ball here if you're Scholl, but a strikeout would be huge for the momentum and just try to get you out of the situation.
Anything that can get you one step closer is key for Scholl, whether it's strikeout, ground ball, or even a flyout. Any way that'll get you out listening or one step closer to it is huge. 1-2, and that ball's a fly ball into left field. Racing on it is Braga and making the catch for out number 2. Runner from third will tag, making it an 8-run ball game in 12-4. And yet another RBI for Cougar Cook.
For the Lumber Kings, first baseman number 12,
So
RJ
currently
Ruiz.
right now 4 teams in the Prospect League have double-digit losses. The Bees right now 3 outs away, or 4 outs really, from becoming the next team to do that here, sitting at a record of 4-9.
Two outs here. First pitch ball for Michael Scholl.
So now getting to face another tough bat here in Jacobs. Excuse me, actually RJ Rouet, who had the home run earlier. So Scholl getting a huge test here going through the order and trying to work his way up into a more consistent spot this season.
A good pitch from Scholl there to just have Rouet out in front, who has been seeing the ball really well, has made it on base in all 5 of his plate appearances so far tonight. 3 walks, a home run, and a double. So, huge threat here at the plate as he hits one right out of play into the left field bleachers, and will likely be another souvenir.
So Cook with 4 RBIs today, an excellent day for him with that RBI, and Rouet also trying to get to a good number here. Does have an 1 RBI, or 2 RBIs, excuse me, with the home run earlier in this game.
1-2 count here, looking for the strikeout here. Scholl gets Rouet to just make contact on it, and we'll do the 1-2 offering just one more time.
Really impressed what I've seen here from Scholl. While he did not pitch this season at Mount Mercy, hasn't had a ton of work with the Bees yet, so just like I said, try to earn his spot, and if he's able to get out of this jam, could further do that.
He's already allowed a run in this inning, but if he can strand a couple more, that's a huge positive sign for him and the rest of the bullpen. 1-2 offering from Scholl on the sidearm release, and that's strike 3 on the outside corner. Huge strikeout look at RJ Rouet, and for the first time in 6 plate appearances, he is sent back to the dugout. That'll end the top half of the 9th. Clinton leads 12-4, and the Bees need a lot to tie this one up. And as our Father's Day game is coming to a close, a day early before Father's Day, we want to give a massive thank you to all the fathers out there, especially my dad, Brian Egan, who one of the best dads there is. Another one of those great dads, and Anibal Figueroa, who is an iconic Bee dad, and now he's raising a son who's also done great things for the Bees in Jace. Do you have any fathers you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I've got my dad, of course, Brad, and then my stepdad, Cody Weaver, two people I look up to immensely in my life, and I honestly wouldn't be sitting here without them. So thank you to their support. And, it's been super fun being out here in Iowa. It's my first Father's Day away from home, so it's a little bit bittersweet. Likely we'll give them the phone call tomorrow and be able to celebrate Father's Day from, 18 hours from home.
I made sure to pick up my dad a little gift for Father's Day, and he'll be able to get it a little late, but a little Father's Day gift for him nonetheless. And just really grateful and glad to celebrate all fathers that do so much for us. Now here in the bottom of the ninth, it's Reese Moore, 3-4-5 up for the Bees, and they need 8.
Yeah, they're going to need some magic here, but I guess it starts with 1. And what's weird about it, Sam, is they've had 8 hits today, and they're really not being out-hit by that much, considering it's how this game was nearly run-ruled.
Pitch from Carson Niebel. 2 pitches, and they're both balls. So Niebel, no relation to former big league reliever Corey Kniebel. Although they share the same spelling last name and the same first initial, no relation between the 2 relief pitchers.
Another Bettendorf, Iowa native, this time in Eastern Michigan University, attendee a sophomore, went to Northern Iowa Area Community College last season.
A solid year with the Eagles of Eastern Michigan. Although he did not see any action. It's a guy that they were looking for big things out of, and unfortunately entered the transfer portal, and we'll see what team is lucky enough to come up with a solid arm in Niebel.
A weird first outing for him. He's appeared in 1 game, 3 walks, but no earned runs, so got in and out of trouble, and now quickly down 3-1 here as the control issues persist. This time to one of the best hitters for the Bees.
3-1 count here to Moore, and he takes another, and that's ball 4. So if you're going to get 8 back, that's the way to do it, by getting the leadoff guy on. A leadoff walk, and of course it'll take plenty of more to make this a ball game, but it's a huge start here for the Bees, and hopefully that can lead to a little rally where everyone just starts hitting.
This is a guy who can drive a ton of runs in. So much power from Merrick Matthews, and the Hawkeye. It's a Hawkeye connection. Is one way to chip away at the lead.
Niebel, a big-time right-hander, standing at 6'6", only 190 pounds. He's struggled to find the zone here early on. It's 1-0. Niebel kicks and deals once again. Called for a strike, on the outside portion of the plate. It's 1-1.
These 2 teams tomorrow taking on each other on the road for Burlington. We'll have the coverage beginning at 1:45 on Mixler, an audio-only broadcast tomorrow. If you want to listen to us, let's begin at 1:45 as the Bees, they're not able to hang on. We'll look for a big bounce-back game as Clinton trying to get going after that tough loss to Lafayette yesterday.
Niebel, whose fastball runs up to 92, and he's showing that velocity there, and had Matthews just a little bit late on that fastball. Now with the leadoff runner aboard, it's quickly 1-2. Fastball, slider, changeup mix for Niebel. Goes with like a high changeup right there. Matthews did not go. It's 2-2, even in the count. So a solid crowd that came out here to see the interstate rivalry on a beautiful Saturday night here in Burlington. And for those who stayed, we'll see if they get treated to a nice little comeback. Firework night last night, so no fireworks tonight.
Yeah, so the battle of the assistant coaches today, similar to how the battle between these 2 head coaches have gone, but this time it's Terry McGinn looking to pick up the victory here and just 3 outs away from doing so, but the Bees trying to make that a little difficult, Sam.
Niebel probably going to go with the fastball here on a full count, going to give his best stuff to Matthews. 3-2 offering, a fastball that Matthews is able to connect with, but goes to the right side and foul. Second time the song has come on for Matthews in an at-bat. He's working some really good at-bats. Has 2 walks and a hit by pitch in this ball game. Walked in his last at-bat in the 7th, and love a walk here to just keep the line moving. Looking for any way to get on is Matthews. 3-2 offering from Niebel. Another foul ball from Matthews, and he's seen the ball out of Niebel's hand pretty well.
And with the Bees scoring as many runs as they have in the final few innings of this game, Sam, it's a good way to build momentum here with some good at-bats and just try to build on it for tomorrow.
anything, yes, build it on it tomorrow. Obviously, in baseball, everything's not over until it's officially over. Of course, this one is going to take a lot for the Bees to get back in it, but it would be a huge boost for tomorrow. 3-2 offering to Matthews, and that one spiked in the dirt for ball 4. So having to make Nebel work, throw a couple extra pitches, and Nebel could not get that pit-away pitch, and as a result, walks the first 2 batters, and new pinch hitter coming into the ball game for the Bees. So the day is done for Cooper Donlin, and in steps the right-hander Scotty Savage. So although it looked like it would probably be an advantage count for Donlin, and he did triple in his last at-bat, going to give an at-bat here to Scotty Savage, who already does have a home run of the year, so we've seen that pop here displayed at Community Field, and looking for another Savage blast here. Takes that first pitch. Manager loves Scotty Savage, and they're looking for a big Scotty hit here. Runners on the move here. Throw over to third is not in time. Moore gets there in time. He's 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts on the year, and second time he's really had to get dirty today, and our poor Hayden Rock is going to have to do some extra laundry there for Reese Moore.
Definitely will. What a year it's been so far on the base paths, along with the good year he's had hitting.
Check that, fans. Pitch hitting for the Bees, number 24, Scotty Savage.
So the runners are being sent back to first base, sent back to their respective bases. Not exactly sure what the confusion was there. Does not appear to be a batter's interference. Otherwise, the runner at first base and Moore would have, or runner at second base, excuse me, and Moore would have been called out, but I'm not sure what's going on here. Is Savage out?
And it looks like he is, so that makes me think the call is batter's interference, Sam.
Next up for the Bees,
Well, the runner would be out too then. So my only guess is maybe they didn't report him in the lineup because the pitcher did throw a pitch. Maybe by not reporting the substitution, Savage was called out. I'm not really sure what happened there. I don't think anyone else on the field is quite sure either.
I think that's a reasonable guess due to the late announcement of the PA announcer here, so it could be a substitution issue. Either way, it'll bring up the out here and reset everything.
Savage not coming in the game for Donlin defensively, so first time we saw him here, and definitely probably the weirdest at bat of his career. Got called out without even swinging at a pitch, or
yeah, just kind of standing there.
Only saw one pitch and swing at it, and he was called out. So one of the more unique at bats Savage will have in his career. Probably not too memorable though, as now Christian Dunn's in an 0-2 hole after that interesting first out. The 0-2 do Dunn, and he strikes out on 3 pitches. How do I mark that Savage out in my scorebook? Do you know? Have you?
I'm not really sure, Sam.
I'm just gonna put an big O by it and just
deal with it after.
So Bees down to their final out here. It's Jackson Rooker. Struck out looking in his last at-bat on a pitch on the outside that he did not agree with whatsoever. 8 hits for the Bees, 13 for the Lumber Kings. Despite the Lumber Kings only having 5 more hits, they have 8 more runs. And the walks that really took the Lumber Kings out of that ball game yesterday played to their advantage today and is what took the Bees out of it today. Another game where it just kind of seemed like the Bees just beat themselves. 0-1 pitch to Rooker, and he takes a big cut at it, but to no contact. It's 0-2. So the Bees are down to their final strike here.
And after that shaky start from Knievel, he is just riding the momentum from that free out he got. He's just throwing big strikes, getting big cuts, and now 1 pitch away.
0-2 count here. Stay competitive. Knievel, 0-2 pitch on the outside, and Rooker able to foul it off and keep the game going for at least 1 more pitch. That go right above us?
Not sure.
It sounded like it did. Nonetheless, we'll do the 0-2 offering once again, and may have to check the parking lot quickly as soon as this game follows up. 0-2 offering to Rooker, and that ball hit him. So with 2 strikes, not just 2 strikes, but didn't have a single ball on the batter and just completely loses him by hitting him. And that's worst case scenario in any situation, regardless of the score, if you're a pitcher.
Fielder number 15.
One more batter for the Bees, at least. It's Luke Braga in a lefty-righty matchup. Braga single in his last at-bat, but he's 1 for 4 in this ballgame with 2 flyouts and a ground out. Good thing for Braga. He's just been putting the ball in play all day, just has not had that luck like he has been able to get all season long. Braga, a guy who doesn't strike out too much, so expecting him to put the ball in play on a Beast team that has been seeing Nebel in this 9th inning for the most part pretty well and have been making some solid contact off of him, although all of them may not been straightened out. 0-1 pitch to Braga, a slider that just kept breaking away, and a late call there from the umpire, and it'll make it strike 2 there. So Tidewell saw that slider just break out of the zone, but I guess he saw it clip a corner and made the late call. So once again, the Bees down to their final strike. Nebel deals, and that's a high fastball for strike 3, and Clinton wins the ball game. A beautiful pitch from Carson Nebel to end this ball game in what was a beautiful pitching display from the Clinton Lumber Kings. Really didn't beat themselves up too much. The walks didn't come until the later innings. First walk did not come all the way until the 7th inning, and a huge adjustment from this pitching staff for the Lumber Kings yesterday is the reason why they come out on top here today. Partner, get your rest. We got a quick start tomorrow afternoon with these same 2 teams.
Yes, sir. A great start from Brendan Martin, and a 4-pitcher effort really does it for Clinton. Some big days from the top of their bat. Stark, Timmons, Cook, Rouet, Jacobs. Those first 5 guys really carried a bulk load of the hitting. For the Bees, had the big win yesterday. Maybe a bit of a hangover for them, but don't have to try to sleep this one off. And like you said, an early game tomorrow at 2 o'clock in Clinton. I know we're out of here bright and early in the morning, so just got to really lock in for this Beast team and try to respond. Need the bats to come across, and a better day from the arms. They're going to need it on both fronts tomorrow, Sam, as the Bees fall to 4-10, and Clinton snaps their 1-game losing streak as they move to 9-5 and look for their 10th win tomorrow.
And now, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the Bees they want to beat the teams that are ahead of them, and they were able to do that last night, but unfortunately could not make up the ground against Clinton. That's the 3rd game they've lost to this Lumber King team this season. So just a display of dominance from the state rival from up north, and we'll see if they continue that dominance into tomorrow. But as far as this ball game goes, that'll do it, with the final score being 12-4. I'm Sam Egan alongside Liam Sample, and we thank you for tuning in to tonight's coverage between the Burlington Bees and Clinton Lumber Kings. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.